All right. So, welcome back, you guys and everyone. And um, life is obviously getting always gets in the way. So it's been a couple weeks for us, um, but we're excited to get back. And obviously, we're missing a very lovely princess at the moment. But uh, she apparently is not feeling very well. Nothing serious, I don't think, by any means. But we will miss her dearly, and excited when she gets back, and hopefully I don't kill her character in the meantime.
Boot will not know what to do with himself.
Delete all my plans of killing the princess this episode. Got it. Kidding. Um,
Don't
so
fucking bring that juju.
don't bring that juju in here. Do not bring that juju in here. You don't do that. Um,
Went in at 12:25.
but either way,
12:25.
why is my audio not going through? Just making sure everything is set up correctly. Does anyone have anything they want to say before we actually get started about anything? Big streaming plans? Anything crazy going on they want to do? You know, just want to be sure.
No. Why is this just our self?
No, I don't know. Just self-promote. Say what you want to say. I want to give you guys the opportunity.
Well, if you like watching me on this D&D game here, you can watch me on my stream tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, where I will be playing Roland Febert, the actual namesake character of my stream.
Nice. More D&D. We all need more D&D. Actually, I don't know if I need more D&D. I have a lot of D&D going on right now, which is not a bad thing, but still a lot.
3 D&D games is like
Yeah, 3 D&D games is a
the
lot.
level.
And DMing 2 of them, which is great. I'm not complaining. It's just it's less free time. Either way, if no one else has anything else they want to do, we can go ahead and start. So, just kind of leaving off where we were at last time. Last time you guys were finishing up in the town of Grimsgill. After doing a few jobs and getting your money and things like that, you decided you had heard some things happening in Hammerfall, which is a very large city, pretty nearby Grimsgill, only a couple days journey. And upon kind of even finding some workers that were making the journey there to deliver stuff, you decided to head out there. And a few things you heard along the way, you heard there was apparently a thieves guild that's been causing some kind of trouble in Hammersfall, and learning a little bit about it, that they seem to follow a particular god and have been hustling some of the like poor folk in the town at the moment, which was causing and maybe even threatening some, from what you guys could hear. And you had heard of some strange attacks that had happened not too far from Grimsgill, and that a patrol of guards had gone out to check, and apparently some had died and gotten injured and were on their way back. So on the way, you happened to see that group, heal them, learn a little bit about what had happened. Some strange individual attacked them unknowingly. There seemed to be even some strange wounds and stuff, but upon healing them and helping them out, you guys split off again from them and continued on your way to Hammersfall, where you saw this large metropolis-like city built into this canyon, almost like a large crack into the ground, with multiple levels on each side, building almost all the way down. And upon kind of getting there and going with the workers to where they're delivering to this kind of larger tower built at the top of the city, you guys had met a strange half-orcan wizard woman by the name of Maxine, and she thanked you guys for helping deliver. You guys asked her if there was anything she needed. She let you guys in, offered what seemingly was big job, big enough to the point where There's even partially a dragon involved, and you guys discussed it. Wasn't sure what you wanted to do at the moment, realizing it might not be a job for you at the moment, but that it could be available later on. You decided to leave, but knowing that she's there. And since the day was over, you headed off to a tavern, ate a big potluck kind of food, and decided to take the rest there for that night. So, starting off the next day, you guys kind of wake up in the large room that you guys have set and head down and start to get food of different varieties. These are kind of a little bit different. It seems they almost have like trays of different kinds of cooked food for breakfast and things like that they bring out to each of you. And Olive is a little slower to come down. Perhaps she was getting ready or something like that. But as you guys all kind of get down and start eating, she comes down pretty quickly and just kind of starts eating, kind of just as casually, like looking around at the moment. So the question is, what do you guys want to do?
Here we are.
It's kind of. I would ask the princess what she's planning on doing, but I don't know how exactly we want to play that. So,
unfortunately, our princess is in another castle.
Well, you could ask her. I'll guess it. I mean, I'll play her for the moment. I won't speak out too much of what you wouldn't know or probably do. But
yeah. So what is the plan? You told us you wanted to come here. What did you want to do?
There seemed to be a few issues that were happening. I know we had heard of this Thieves Guild. I don't know if that's something we're looking into, or maybe there's other things to do. I don't know. Does anyone have an idea?
We
kill
were
them all and let the gods sort it out.
We were looking at this Thieves Guild, and they were something that they were the whole reason we came here in the first place.
Sure.
Perhaps we should try and find some leads on the thieves.
Let's start with the council hall or something and see what the local quests are.
Yes, actually,
Get
that's
a legitimate eye on
good
the
idea.
community.
Yes, I'm sure there's plenty of stuff in the community that we can assist with, and then, as I've mentioned, we can use that to gather some leads.
Well, hold on just a second there. If we are trying to go up against a large contingent of powerful people in the city, I don't think that making a name for ourselves here is the right way to go about it.
We don't do anything big. I don't think they're going to pay any attention to the adventurers that cleared the rats out of the sewers.
If these people are who I think they are, then they might.
Disguises.
I don't think that we would be able to hide you, Mr. Walrus.
I mean, I could get like a bag.
And a dress.
I don't want to wear a dress.
Yes. It would be very hard for them to tell that the 7-foot man with the bag on his head is the same person as the 7-foot man without the bag on his head.
I mean, yeah, that would make sense to me.
And that is why we will make other plans.
I think it's a good plan.
Well, this is the scenario. We either do some small-time jobs in order to gather leads and perhaps kind of increase our presence here, or we focus on the leads and go directly to the Thieves Guild, see if we can figure them out before we alert them of our presence.
I had a thought. I don't know if Artis is going to like it, though.
We pretend to arrest him until the Thieves Guild will pay. They need to pay ransom for him back. And then once they pay for him, he goes in, and then he can do stuff.
I was thinking that we could send him in to infiltrate.
Oh, yeah, that's simpler.
That
He is
could
the
be a
only
good idea.
one with the skills that I think that they might value.
He could be our inside man. Then, whenever they're doing something, we're always 2 steps ahead of them with artist's information.
Not always. Always is a giveaway that there's a leak.
That is true.
Okay. You're right. You're right.
Hmm.
But what do you think? Are you happy to infiltrate the god-worshipping thieves?
I could give it a try.
Now we just have to figure out how to get you in.
I think that is something that you would be most suited for, Skull.
What do you mean specifically?
Well, when I go to talk to people, they don't really like me much.
You don't say.
No, I do. I do say that.
Okay. I mean, I could always ask around, but then the issue is, then they know people are asking questions. And I feel like they're the type of group who doesn't want questions asked.
Or you could tell stories.
Tell stories of your great thieving prowess.
That
I
is
could
an
do
idea.
that. Or,
Start spreading rumors around the place.
here's a great idea. I, in my glorious storytelling ways, can pretend to be a rich man. And you pretend to rob me in the streets. I'm sure that would definitely get you some street cred. Robbing a wealthy
no,
nobleman.
I think it might be better if we set you up to have something to steal clandestine. You see, maybe you are a noble dignitary coming into town, but you have a special item or something that, I don't know. You see where I'm going with this, though.
Yes, yeah, I can.
I don't think that they want some slap-a-dash, I rob you in the street person.
No, that is fair.
Someone who can really get in and do a job well.
You
Okay,
could
great.
complain loudly about how I got past all of your defenses, guards, and traps, and stole this mysterious item.
Or,
That sounds like a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
we steal something for real.
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
I'm
I
not
mean-
adverse to breaking the law for a good cause.
Well, I
But
wonder what a great place to start.
We have a
Artists could have a crew.
contact who has lots of very interesting things in their very well fortified castle.
Okay, but I'm.
We could ask the wizard lady to let us steal something from her, and have her spread the rumor that we did it.
Okay.
I don't think she'd want rumors of anyone successfully breaking in,
Yes,
because that
it's
might entice others.
to make attempts.
But if we were able to get this thing that she requested, that may give us the in that we are looking for.
Yeah, I
We
would
would
work.
be in our debt.
Yes, but that was a mighty quest in the making that was going to take us across continents. It's not exactly a quick.
Was
You
it
know,
across
30-minute
continents?
journey
I
in
thought
and
it was
out.
just up into the mountains.
It's technically she believes it's south towards the mountains. If you are traveling normally or by cart or anything like that, it would still be like a couple weeks to get there from here. Not that you couldn't do it, or if maybe she had another method of travel. But she described that she is fairly certain that it's on this continent in the mountains in the south. The only other place that it could be would be in the northern continent. the mountains in the north. But she again was fairly certain that it is in the southern ones. So, same continent, unless she's wrong.
Well,
Okay.
I don't think we're dragon ready, even if we could get across to there.
Well,
Yes,
we do not
definitely.
have to fight the dragon. We just have to get into its territory, right?
No.
No one said we had to fight it.
That's true.
Yes, but I believe the dragon is guarding it, and I don't. Forgive me, Walrus, but I'm not entirely sure of your stealth capabilities.
No.
I would be more worried about my stealth capabilities than his.
Probably.
My
I would say
my
just.
clothing is quite loud.
I know it's been a couple weeks, but I just wanted to make sure I'm clarifying. She described that it is probably not in its lair or anything. It's just it is in its territory,
That's what I thought.
or at least the members that the teams that she is told to go get that have either been killed by that dragon or something else. But she is fairly certain it is not in its like lair or anything like that. But it would be something that you guys would have to probably avoid. Or avoid or deal with, either way. But
Well, as
I don't want to get eaten.
in my travels, I have learned a few skills, one of which can make it easier to stay hidden in terrain. I don't have it ready now, but if I took some time and prayed on it, the gods would help us stay hidden.
Does any of those things instantly kill dragons?
Oh,
I like your thinking.
the gods don't grant me such powers yet.
Mm,
I have heard of them, though.
it seems unhelpful.
Well, hopefully we don't have to go into its lair.
I think our best bets would be to dragon for a short while. Just kind of, stay back, maybe adventure a little bit more, get more used to this adventuring feel and get more experience in this field before we decide to take on this dragon. It seems rather risky to even try avoiding this dragon in our current state.
Wait, can I not get Pass Without a Trace? I thought Pass Without a Trace was a cleric spell.
Druid spell, isn't it?
I'll find
No,
out.
it is a cleric spell. I don't know if you get it yet though.
I'll look while you're doing that. While you're
That might be trickery that gets that, and not what you
Trickery
are.
Domain gets it.
That's what it is.
Balls. Never mind that. Forget that.
Ignore everything I just said.
Oh,
Ignore everything that I just said. My gods do not like me that much.
wrong gods.
So, yes, let's keep our distance from the dragon and just kind of. I agree with Arts' original idea of perhaps seeing if there are any local jobs. I don't think it makes us look particularly suspicious at this current point. I don't think we're exactly going to be making blips on anyone's radars. Which, now that I say it, makes no sense.
What's a
But
radar?
yes. But I'm sure that we can see if there's anything to do in the local area. I'm sure there's some issues going on that we can help with.
Probably.
Well, it'd
And,
fit
well,
our
Princess.
behavior. We've come in as adventurers. We do adventurers' jobs. We could potentially go for jobs that are below our capabilities, just to give them a false sense of weakness.
That seems horrible.
I mean, perhaps they wouldn't even care about a group of adventurers no matter what we did. I mean, we've just come in to look for stuff to do. We're not like a group of detectives or anything. There's nothing about us that would indicate we have any interest in a thieving guild.
I just don't like the idea of these people having any kind of knowledge of us.
That'll be fine. What are they gonna do? Steal what we don't got?
No, they will kill you in your sleep always.
No.
When you
That's
cannot
worse.
defend yourself,
Just won't sleep then.
they will poison your food.
That's just mean.
And you eat a lot of it, so it would be
I
hard
do.
for you
It's
to
good
not
food.
to avoid.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
but
mean.
to be
a
fair,
good
if he
volunteer
ate
has a-
poisonous food, it probably wouldn't affect him anyway.
Yeah, that's what
I
I'm
mean, look
thinking.
at this guy.
Yeah. Except mushrooms. I hate mushrooms.
Oh.
They're weird. Some
Well,
of them just
let's
blow up.
have a look for a job board. And we don't have to take any jobs, but we should look. We should investigate. We should see what there is to do.
Well, it'll also tell us a bit more about what's going on in the city if we take a look at the board.
Correct. There's probably
Huh?
news there or some sort of bulletin.
Like if they got like problems and stuff.
Okay. You guys can easily do that. I would just say everyone separately roll an investigation check.
Okay.
Just to see what you guys find out in the world.
Perfect. That's
Makes
on
total
brand.
sense.
Oh wait,
Walrus is too busy thinking about
That's
his
not
food.
it. There
being
it is. I
poisoned.
need to grab that.
He just has a bowl of food from the
Yeah, you can
tavern
either
that
click
he's
and
walking
drag or
around
double
with.
click, and it would work.
Haha, yeah.
Told you wasted your good rolls before the game.
I always do.
It's
Um,
his plan.
I
Sure.
got an unnatural 20.
yeah, a dirty 20. So as you guys are making the journey, Olive still joins you even though she's not here, but you know, she's just kind of like she comments that looking for jobs is a good way to learn the city a bit more, and you guys all head out and she didn't roll extremely well either. So you guys are kind of looking around, asking a few people around, seeing if there's anything, if there is a job board or anything like that. And, you know, some people seem to either be traveling and don't know, you know, some people just pay you no mind even when you ask. But after a bit of time, Artis, you're able to kind of talk to a few people and find out that there is a couple guardhouses on multiple layers of the city, and each kind of has their own board. Most of them have the same things on it, but some people will put specific ones kind of for their local area. And so you kind of go to one that is on your guys' level, which is the first level down, and go to it and kind of you see a few things. Some seem to be just notices. One of them is one of the notices is just a warning that if you are on the fourth, I have the names of all the levels, but I lost that note somewhere and I gotta find it. On the fourth level of the city, that to be careful with open flames, as some water sources have suddenly become highly flammable, which seems strange. And there seems to be a couple notices. One looks like it's been scrawled a little bit more haphazardly and just posted on the board. It just says, "Beware the cats at night." That's confusing. What that means. But a couple things that look a little bit more like official or someone took the time to do it is... I'm pulling from my list here, and
A quest to slay a dragon.
from the sounds of things, it looks like there's really not too much around, or there's not as much as the last town. Maybe there are other people here that are doing things, or the guardsmen are actually taking care of a lot of these issues.
Impossible.
There is a reward for a missing statue. There's not really too many details about it, other than the description of the statue and where it was stolen from. There,
Take that. Just in
yeah,
case
you can
it
take
grows.
that. And funny enough, there is actual a you kind of mentioned it slightly earlier, but there is a job posting for something happening in the sewer system. The sewers that run kind of along the back walls of everything like that. Apparently, some workers have gone missing in there. Other than that, there's nothing that really perks your interest other than those strange things and those two kind of main jobs. There are other notice boards, but those are kind of the ones you find at this first one that you get to.
I'll grab the sewer notice as well. Something that we could sink our teeth into.
Don't sink your teeth into anything that's in the sewers. Be careful with that.
I don't know, gator tastes nice, even if it eats trash.
Just don't eat the parts that that are in the stomach. The rest of the meat should be fine. Clean it off,
Yeah,
cook it
makes
well.
sense.
Makes sense to me.
So I'll head back to the inn and give them a description of what I saw on the board and show them the two things of interest that I grabbed.
So yeah, artist kind of comes up as he kind of split from the party for a bit to kind of look around and catches up with you guys and shows you all these couple notices and the few things that he had mentioned that seemed a little strange.
So we up for the sewers?
That sounds fun.
I mean, I personally don't like messing about down there, but if it needs to be done, it needs to be done.
Well, those workers could have family.
Right, so are we all in agreement with the sewers, or does anyone have any other ideas?
I would just need to change a little bit of my clothes, but I'd be fine with that. If that's what you want to do.
I'm fine with sewers.
Sewers it is. I mean, I wonder what the easiest way to get down there would be. I assume there's some sort of access point, but
Sewer, great.
Yeah, there is a place to on the job listing there is a place there is a maintenance house that's near one of the entrances to the sewer that it says to meet at, and you could head there, or that seems to be the place to enter from.
okay.
Is there a
If we
contact that
maybe
we are supposed to
abroad.
meet with first, or do we just go and hope that they believe that we did it?
It does say there is someone at the maintenance house. It doesn't have a name. It just says meet with the foreman.
Hopefully they'll have a map or something that we can use so we don't get lost down there.
I'm sure they will. It
It'd
only
be that
makes sense for them to have a map. What time is it? Sorry.
It's you guys only talked for a bit, so it's not too late. I would say it's probably around a little bit before lunch, if anything.
Oh, okay. That's fine then. Shall we investigate these sewers before lunch?
Probably.
But after we have eaten, then things may come back to bite us.
Like rats.
Not quite.
I'm pretty sure they bite.
Actually, I'd rather eat first.
All right. Well, I'm going to save my lunch. I'll eat once all is said and done.
I can have a second lunch after.
I wouldn't eat
So,
too much, so you don't want to lose your lunch.
No, I'm not going to eat much, but I am going to eat.
I've never lost a meal in my life. I keep track of them very well.
I have this app. It's got all the calories. Okay. Heading back to the bar anyway, because Olive will change her clothes anyway to just the clothes that she has kind of over her armor to something a little bit more that she'd be fine with getting messed up. And kind of meets with you guys as you're eating lunch during all this. Lunch can be had whoever's asking for lunch very easily is brought out, and you can eat as much as or as little or none at all, entirely up to you, but it takes about an hour for change of clothes and eating and everything like that to occur. Is there anything else you guys want to do or look at, or do you want to just head straight towards that area? There's no time limit or anything, so if you want to do anything, it's up to you guys.
I am just before we get into any fancy stuff, I'm gonna roll a bardic inspiration to get my tale from beyond.
Sure, you can do that.
Can't quite remember how.
Here, I got it right here.
Okay, cool, thank you.
So I rolled a 4, which is runaway. Adventurer that can escape any confinement, the target can immediately use its reaction to teleport up to 30 feet away to an unoccupied space. When the target teleports, it can choose a number of creatures it can see within 30 feet up to your charisma modifier. So it could teleport up to 4 creatures.
Well, isn't that just perfect?
So
What?
him and 4 creatures, or just 4 creatures total?
It can choose a number of creatures it can see to immediately use the same reaction. No, that's
So
whenever you use it on the target, that target can use their reaction to 30 feet teleport, and then when it teleports, it can choose a number of creature that it can see within 30 feet. Or it can choose 4 creatures it can see within 30 feet, and those creatures can use their reaction. They don't have to.
To teleport.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he could use that on himself, or me, or whatever.
Yeah,
and
he could
they
use that on
teleport, and
himself.
then everyone else could teleport.
We can teleport
It
the
uses
entire
a
party.
reaction, but yes.
30
Yeah.
feet. That's pretty
cool.
Yeah, it is very cool. I gotta double check,
Think
but I'm
of
pretty... Yeah, he has to use his action to choose a creature on his turn, and then
So
but
yeah,
then
I have to be in combat to use this. I can't just use it as my cheeky little 30 feet teleport.
no. Nothing,
I don't see
nothing
a
about
reason
using an
why you
action.
couldn't use it outside of combat.
Well, then that is very helpful.
Um,
That is...
you know, it could be possibly more helpful in combat, but no, you could use it outside of combat. It just causes your action, which
Teleport 30 feet across the chasm.
Yep.
Or suspend someone 30 feet above the chasm.
Yikes.
well, once he chooses a target, the target uses their reaction, so the target can choose not to. So it's not like it's not a forced teleport. It's I'm giving this to you. You can choose where to teleport, and then they get to choose any other creatures that can also teleport if they want to. But none of this is a forced.
Okay, and I'm assuming that every creature who can use it has to have their reaction. Like, this isn't a free optional reaction. They have to have their reaction available to...
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
which again would only matter in combat.
Yeah.
Here, I'll just do
Got it. Okay, cool.
There's the wording of it if you want to read it
Awesome.
again.
Right. Thank you. That will be helpful.
So the absolute wording of it, but you have that available until I think you rest again. So Other than that, and you remembering that long tale of two runaway lovers, as you recount that in your head as everyone's kind of eating, or the people who want to eat are eating. Anything else you guys wanted to do in the city before heading that way? Did you want to take a day or two, look around more? I'm just asking. Doesn't matter. You don't have to. I'm just wanting to make sure that no one's not that you guys. If there's something you want to do, that you guys are doing it and not just running headfirst into anything.
No, tomorrow I want to try and go to the town records and learn a bit of history about the place.
Okay.
But for this afternoon, the stewards.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's get dirty.
Yeah. I think it's a good idea.
I want to get dirty, get started up.
I knew someone was going to
Never mind.
Just shake my heads at those. That's all I'll say. Okay.
Every place.
So heading out, it's luckily not too far to kind of what I kind of call is the back wall of this area. It's the farthest away from the cliffside to where the point where the city kind of stops being it's where the city stops at every level, and different levels have a different kind of depth into the side of the cliff. It kind of going that way and kind of asking around a little bit, you find what looks like a pretty small building that's kind of almost slightly embedded into the wall that seemingly is the foreman's office / kind of maintenance hut that is kind of slightly described in the note. You see there is what looks like a wooden door that is built into this rock face that is closed. There doesn't seem to be any other real windows or anything like that to it at the moment.
Okay.
Okay, approach the door.
Okay. You give it kind of it does seem to be like latched shut, and kind of giving a knock for a second. You hear what sounds like shuffling inside before finally you hear a loud like metallic movement from the other side as the door opens, and you see what looks like this pretty large, pretty beefy half-orcan male who just kind of looks at you guys up and down and just goes, "What do you want?"
We want to solve your problems.
We wish to investigate your sewers.
Hey, it's not a euphemism. We literally want to go in the sewers.
We saw the job.
That dark and dirty place.
I made it worse.
You see him kind of crack a small smile, and he's like, "That's pretty funny. All right, yeah, you saw the job posting. It's not a big deal. You guys want to head in? I can let you in. Yeah, no, that's fine. You're not under my pay. I don't care." And he kind of just walks back, and you see him grab what looks like a kind of long tool belt that he kind of straps around his side, and kind of looks around and picks up a couple other things, and then he kind of just steps out and he goes, "All right, follow me." And he walks around the side of the building and kind of walks along the outer wall for a moment, for about a minute, before you kind of end up on this kind of other, what looks like metallic doorway, it just embedded in the side. It's almost the exact same hue as the wall, so it's kind of hard to see. Other than that, it just looks a bit more shiny than the rest of the wall. And as he kind of comes up, he pulls out what looks like a door handle, and kind of there's a hole in the door that he kind of sets the door handle in and kind of cranks it like 3 times before it actually kind of, you hear a kind of unsealing noise, and it seems to be a heavy doorway, kind of pulls this like large metallic doorway kind of open, and you see a very small room that looks to have kind of a small ladder that's going downwards, and you can already slightly smell kind of rotten smell coming from it, and he kind of goes, ugh, you still don't get used to it. Ugh. It's rather annoying.
What exactly is the pay for this job?
That's a good question.
I don't
Straight to
know.
the point.
I don't know. The city set it up. You'd have to ask them. I don't really know. Hopefully it's good, because I don't get paid very well for this.
I
Yeah.
look over at Efla, an artist, and I say, "It better be." And then I head in the door.
Yeah, he kind of goes, and watch your step at the bottom. It drops off a little bit. Just make sure of that.
I'm already in the door before he says that, so do I just fall?
No, he means at the bottom of the ladder.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Okay, good.
So as you're starting to
would've been
even
just
walk in
great.
there and start going down the ladder, that is what he says.
Okay.
And
Thank you for
he
the heads up.
and he kind of as you guys are doing that, he turns over to one of you and he's like, "Here, this is it's not that well drawn out, but this is kind of the basics of the routes and the thing. There's a couple tunnels that aren't on there. They're either older or we just haven't drawn it out yet. We lose these a lot,
Can you make sure to mark where the men have gone missing?
Oh, yeah, I could do that." And he kind of pulls it out and he goes, okay, I think... He pulls out a small, like, blade, and he just takes the map and he just was like... He pokes a hole in one part of it, he pokes a hole in another part of it, and he pokes another hole in another part of it, and he's like, I think that's where they were at. And you see this kind of... It's hard to tell what this map is really drawn of. It looks just basically like a maze of lines. Some seem to go up and left and right and down in all sorts of ways. Some even seem to like curve and like then have been marked off, and it looks fairly crudely drawn at the moment. But now where he's poked 3 holes with his with a small blade that he has, they're in a same general area, but they're not like all in one place. They're in kind of a slightly lower section, and he kind of points out where you guys are at the moment, and you kind of see what looks like one of the ends of one of the lines he's pointing at, and you realize that it is a bit lower and through a few of the tunnels. It's not the best drawn map in the world, but it is better than nothing at the moment.
A map is a map.
Artists, you are skilled with making maps yourself, correct?
I do indeed.
Can you make sure to, as we go along, map our routes so that we don't get lost trying to use this thing?
Yeah, I've got my cartography tools here. I take off my backpack and I rummage through. Should be a compass and stuff like that in there.
Perfect.
You can certainly do that.
Anyone will know where we need to go now.
Well, this one seems to be the closest point to where we are, so we may as well start there and then make our way deeper if we don't find anything of interest at that location.
I agree with that plan.
Makes sense.
Okay. So kind of starting down the ladder. It does take a bit of time. The ladder is extremely long, but it takes a minute or so to climb down. It is a tight kind of tunnel. Really just Goodbrand and Walrus have a little bit of trouble just with how bulky their stuff is at the moment. But it just takes an extra minute or so, and you realize what he meant by the step down is it seems like the bottom rung of the ladder has been either rusted or broken or something, but it's just not there. And it's a little bit more of a step down to get to it. You kind of have to be careful of everything. And you're in what looks like it's actually a fairly large tunnel, about 15 to 20 feet across. And you see there is pathways on either side. So you guys are on one side of the pathway at the moment, and you do see what looks like small pathways that go over and cross the two sides over, and you see what look like other tunnels that are doing the same. And then you see this large kind of indent into the floor in between that seemingly has like a little bit of water or liquid or some other kinds of stuff that are just kind of draining at the moment. Kind of looking at it, it actually does it does smell in here, but as you guys have come down, it's not as bad as you were absolutely expecting. It seems as though, even though it is a sewer system, and that is partially it is a lot of just drainage of water and rain and everything like that, especially from businesses and things like that. So it is still not great, but it is not extremely horrible by any means. And you do see like little indents coming from parts of the wall that are just little holes that kind of are embedded into the ground that you would have to step over, that seemingly every once in a while you see liquid kind of coming from those. It's still disgusting, but it's not overflowing disgusting kind of thing, and you can pretty much stay out of the disgusting parts mostly. So far it was what it looks like, but it is dark. There doesn't seem to be really any light source, this makes it hard once you get to the bottom and you realize that it's very dark. But assuming you light up your mace or however you want to do it, yeah, you can. The light lets you see what I just said, and it goes a decent amount through the tunnel, and you can see even another tunnel that's jutting off to the left.
I always forget I don't have dark vision.
I slightly always forget, but I remember this time, which luckily helps Walrus when he gets down, because he also doesn't have dark vision. Or I'm sorry, not Walrus. Artis doesn't have dark vision either.
I'm pretty sure I do.
Yeah.
60 feet.
I'm gonna walk like right behind Artis, but I'm gonna let him lead since he knows way more about maps than I do.
Yeah, so upon everyone finally getting the rest of the way down, and even Olive gets down as well, you know, she kind of is holding her nose a bit, but is not too, is actually not as much as you guys are like, man, the princess coming down in the sewer, holy crap. Doesn't look as bothered as you would expect. She obviously doesn't like it, but she's not extremely bothered by it.
She's been in enclosed spaces after Walrus has had sprouts.
Not wrong.
Fair.
That could be potentially much worse than the smell. But either way, kind of looking at the map, I would say, Artist, just roll a flat intelligence check. It's not extremely hard, but kind of matters how much wandering you guys are gonna do. Ooh, not an amazing roll. This map is not drawn well. You're pointed out where you are at, and kind of using your compass, you start kind of walking kind of what you believe to be south. I mean, using your compass, you know it's south, but believing on the map to be south, until you see a tunnel jut off and you're like, okay, that's where this tunnel is. We won't go that way. And then you keep going until you reach a part where the tunnel just goes straight down, like a waterfall, and there doesn't seem to be a ladder or anything down. And then you notice... How far would that be? Like about... Actually, to be honest, you guys probably wouldn't see. It's actually farther than your dark vision or the torches would allow.
So it's further than 60 feet, which means a 30-foot teleport would not do it.
No, no, it would not do it. But what I'm even like seeing it, and maybe even thinking about going down there. Now, looking at the map, you realize this must be one of the dead ends that's on the map, and now using that as a means, you realize, oh, we should have gone this way. I'll say, to make it short, you guys go down a couple wrong turns, a couple ways. You realize that some tunnels aren't on the map right. Some tunnels are. Some tunnels look one way, but are not shaped that way. They're just drawn in a particular way. If you were a worker that knew the sewer rather well, this might be a decent map at least, but not knowing anything about it, you guys take some wrong turns. It takes even a couple hours to get close. I would even say, to where all of this is kind of going on. Once you finally do, a couple hours have gone by. You've gone down a few of the ladders that are here, to kind of like a more like a third level of this sewer, which could be close to where that waterfall did drop off. You're not entirely sure because you couldn't see how far down it was, but could be kind of based on it could be that. But turning down a couple of the tunnels, you start getting where you believe you're close to where they went missing, and so far you haven't seen any evidence of anything. There hasn't been you haven't seen like belongings, strange objects, creature. You haven't seen anything. It's been rather empty.
No rats at all?
There have been a couple rats and things. I would say right now, you don't see any right now. You have seen a couple as you've gone, but you haven't seen any lately.
I've been in a few sewers. They're not normally this pest-free.
Maybe these are
crawling around in many sewers.
clean sewers.
Or there's a predator down here.
I mean, that's also true. Although I don't know what predator lives in sewers.
Well, I wish it would just attack and get this whole thing over with. I want to get out of these sewers.
Efla, just out of nowhere, is just gonna kind of go, ah, to kind of hear the echo through the.
Ah! 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 Ah!
The acoustics in here are rather nice.
I agree.
I cast Toll the Dead at nothing just to make a really loud bong sound.
Ding! Kung! Kung! Like you hear it echo all the way down, and it doesn't sound great, but you gotta sit for a while after hearing all that. You don't really like nothing shouts back at you, and you don't hear movement coming towards you or anything like that at the moment. You might have been, I mean, something might have been alerted to your presence, but if there is anything, it's not coming towards you at the moment, from what you can see.
And how far away is the next nearest point of interest?
It's not that far, maybe like 10-minute walk, assuming you don't get lost, but you've kind of gotten a handle on it by now. So I'll say 10 minutes, you get close to the next spot. I would say, I would say, Artist, you have the best investigation anyway. So, Artist, make an investigation check, and I would say, everyone else make a perception check.
Well, good. Let's do it.
I'm good at perception, but I'm bad at rolling.
That's not bad. I'll take it.
You just said you're bad at rolling, and you're not wrong. That's always the funny thing. And you got in. I saw you get in. You rolled really, really well, and I'm like, that's not going to happen once we actually get on.
Yeah, no, that's
why you don't roll
beforehand.
Happens.
Yeah, no, you don't.
You know it doesn't matter whether I roll beforehand or not. You know that's true.
You just gotta change your colors. That's all it is.
It's definitely not.
That's definitely a myth.
It's not a myth.
I've never changed my colors ever, and I roll. It does not matter. I know you guys think it's a myth, or you guys think that's true because during our games, you guys change your colors all the time.
Stand by it. I stand by it.
Okay, fine. You can stand by it all you want.
I had those salmon dice, and they rolled shit. And I had different dice, and they rolled great.
Either way, what what gets noticed though, artists, you notice that
The arithmetic changes.
as the light comes down through Goodbrand and everything, you notice a few little kind of sparkles. Some of it seems to be on the pathway, and some of it seems to be slightly in the ravine. And you kind of walk forward a little bit, and you notice there seems to be a few what looks like coins, and what look like a few maybe tools. Some
Good
look
Brand,
like they're
can
large
you
things.
Come over here a bit. I need some more light. Please.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys kind of walk a little bit closer to it, and yeah, they do definitely seem like money coins that have just been like kind of laying on the ground, and what look like a few metal tools.
What kind of coins?
Just like copper, a couple silver. That's
Then I ain't touching it.
yeah, it doesn't seem like a lot of money by any means. And Walrus, what you notice is looking up as their light kind of gets closer. There seems to be some kind of God, it looks like it's Walrus, so of course this is what it looks like. It's like, man, like a little bit past them and like on the wall, it's like there's like some kind of like melted cheese on the wall. It's weird.
I'm gonna say exactly that. I'm gonna be like, there's melted cheese on the wall over there. I don't know why.
And you guys kind of look, and you do see this like yellowish goo that's kind of just like against one of the walls. About where all the debris and stuff is it's about like 8-ish feet away, not that far away.
Okay, so Matt is kind of aware of what is happening right now.
You're asking if Goodbrand is.
Yes.
What would I make this actually be?
Nature?
Yeah, I'll allow it to be nature.
Nature's bad for me, so don't worry.
No,
about
I
that
know.
too much.
No, I know. I would say it would either be nature, or I would even probably allow Arcana. But yeah, I mean they're both the
gonna
same
be
for you.
A straight roll either way. Nope, no clue. Never been
6.
in a sewer before.
Yeah, you've never been in a sewer. I mean, it does look kind of like cheese, but why would that be here? I mean, you're not. It's not something
Wait,
that you're like.
Question, like cheddar cheese or like white cheese?
No, cheddar cheese. It is yellow.
Good Stilton.
All right, just making
It
sure.
is yellow.
Has it been smoked? Is the question.
You'd have to get a little closer to see if it's been smoked.
Well, I was going to suggest burning it because that doesn't look right, and I don't want to go poking it with my sword.
You think if I eat it, I'll gain an insight into it?
Oh Lord, please, for the love of God, do not eat the mold.
I would say at this point, Walrus, you do see it does seem to be, you can't tell if it's moving or it's just because it's on the wall, it's just sliding down, but it does seem to have moved like a foot down off the wall. It's not on the ground yet, but it is like, you can't tell if it's just sliding because it's not as sticky, but it's
punch it.
You're gonna run over there and punch it?
Yeah, I don't like that's just my reaction as a human.
Jeez.
No, anytime something's sliding down a wall, I have the immense urge to hit it.
Okay, that's perfectly
You
fine.
often get things sliding down the wall where you are.
You'd be it's. I don't have time to explain why. Yes.
No time to explain, but sure. Roll your just attack normally. I guess my brain is not saying the right things.
I gotta do.
Unarmed strike should just still be a +6.
That's what I thought.
Still, I think it is. It's fine.
Yeah, no, it is because it's I'm 17.
Sure. Roll or what? It's just your. You don't have any unarmed things, so it'd just be your strength bonus, I think.
Yeah.
1 plus your strength bonus, so it'd be 5 damage.
Yeah, it's 5.
Okay. Not as prepared for a sewer thing than I thought I would be, so I don't have this up yet, but I will put it up now.
I think that's what it is, at least. Yeah, I don't have the feet for it, so I'm pretty sure it's just one.
Yeah. All right, so whoopsies. Not there. Please type there. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, it's 1 plus that.
Well, I hope it's not what I think it is.
It's always what you hope it is.
Oh, it is for sure. Always what you think it is. I'm just gonna
And
do.
this is the section of the monster manual I avoid because they gross me out, so I don't know.
Good. You take 1 acid damage as
Perfect.
when you do it, you feel it like jiggle, like it's jelly.
Oh.
Or jam or anything, and you feel a slight burning on your hand. It's not anything bad, but you're like,
So it is grilled cheese.
it is 100%. It's not hot. It just feels like a burn. When you hit it, it didn't feel hot, but it definitely feels like something is burning your hand for a second, and you just kind of do this, and it slips down, and you see it does. When it does do the punch, it jiggles, and then it almost like it stretches a little bit closer to you.
No.
Do any of us notice this?
I mean, it's fairly obvious.
Sacred Flame.
Okay, let's do initiative first.
Thank you.
Let's do initiative first.
God.
Because
it's a mold, guys. It's a mold.
Well, it's close.
It's not great.
Is it not a mold? It could be. I mean, it's one of those things.
Well,
Slime,
cheese
then
is
maybe
just
a slime.
fancy mold.
Lavender.
It is
true.
It is
That's
fantasy
true.
mold for sure. I will say I don't think we'll need a map. I don't actually have a map for this one.
We don't need a map for.
You shouldn't need this. It does not move far, so I don't think you'll need it.
Question.
So we'll do theater of the mind for
How
this
wide
one.
are the tunnels?
How wide are the tunnels? Again, this tunnel is about 20 feet across. It seems like this one is on your side, like it's on your side. So you guys are only about like 10 feet away from it at the moment. Except
No,
for
I mean not like how long. Like 2 people walking abreast, 3 people walking abreast, 4 people walking abreast.
You guys could squeeze on the pathway. I mean, this is if you decide to go down into the divot where there's liquid or not. But if you're not trying to do that, you guys could barely squeeze 2. I would say it's about like a 7 feet pathway. So you guys could barely, but it would be tough.
Really, this is going to look super awkward if there's like more than one melee combatant with this. It
would. It would.
Yeah.
It would be kind of hard to do. If it stays on the wall, it's definitely possible. But if it gets onto the ground, it might be harder to get around it and stuff like that. Because now that it is actually like conforming into a more solid shape, you do actually realize that it is a little bit bigger than you expected. Now that the light's hitting it, some of it even seeps from the wall, almost like it had been like partially in a few of the cracks in the wall, and it turns out to start to become pretty large. Not anything ginormous, but it's more than you expected for sure.
I don't have Sacred Flame. Huh. I'm so used to clerics having that.
Oh, you didn't take the one cleric thing?
No, I can do
Blasphemy.
Toll the Dead,
No, I know, I'm kidding.
I can do Toll the Dead. Toll the Dead's better than Sacred Flame.
I'm kidding. For sure.
Ooh, battle music.
What else am I doing? What else do I have to do? Oh, I have to
Leave her
roll.
alone. She's
I
sleeping.
have to roll initiative for her. Okay, she's last. Great. So I don't have to worry about her for a while.
Must have been a really crap roll.
She rolled a 4. So, not amazing. She doesn't have a dexterity bonus either, so Olive was not paying that much attention. So, Walrus, you get to go first. Upon immediately punching this and feeling that burn, you do see it seep out of the wall a little bit more, and you realize it is a bit bigger than you thought it was for a moment. And you're like,
I don't like that at all. Yeah, I might as well just use a bonus action to rage.
Okay, you use your bonus action to rage. You get very angry at the melted cheese burning you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually, you know what? No, he's more pissed it's not cheese.
That's fine.
You
That
would have
makes
eaten it?
either way makes sense.
Yeah, if it didn't hurt him, he would have eaten it.
Yikes.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and just take a big old swing at it.
All right.
Oh,
Sure. Roll your damage.
All right. I don't know if I have
Oh my.
to. I think I have to click this with the Divine Fury every time. So
Yes, but you only get it on the first swing.
yeah.
Right,
Okay.
yeah.
So that's this. Yeah. Okay. Oh no.
Or you get it on the first hit. So,
Yeah, which is this. Okay. Good. Bam.
all right.
26.
26 damage.
Very nice.
You kind of immediately like pull your halberd out and back up a hair, and as you do, you kind of have to hold it a little closer and swing towards this weird oozy cheese, and you kind of just slice it across, and you see this little flash of light as well as you rage. Is it? Oh, you didn't target it. I'll just do that.
Oh, I forgot. We're in the fucking combat.
No, you're
tracker.
good. You're good.
How do we target it when we don't have a map?
You should be able to control.
You
Click
can
it.
I'm pretty sure you can control click. Yeah, in the combat tracker.
Yeah, you can do it in the combat tracker instead of the token.
Okay.
Same thing. Or you can just drag the dice to it in the combat tracker. Either way, it doesn't matter. But I fixed it. It's fine.
Where is the combat tracker?
Hit the two swords on the top right. It'll pop up.
2 swords in the top right. Beautiful. Okay, cool.
So you can kind of see the order of everything.
It's a jelly. Okay.
Yes, technically. So it swings, you swing across, and you see that flash, and you see during that flash, like, some of the ooze even burns. But you feel as though your blade didn't do as much damage as you were maybe hoping. As when you slash across it like that, you kind of see that... I'm trying to make sure the damage got calculated correctly. It looks like it kind of did. Either way, you slice across it, and as you do, you realize that it didn't take as much damage as you were hoping. And you now see that where you sliced it across, that the ooze is kind of shaking, and almost as if right where you sliced it, it almost separates, and you see one of it is starting to move slightly towards the other part of the group, and the other one is moving closer to your feet. Almost as if
No.
it's split into two.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But I can't do anything
having the
else.
cheese into shares.
I don't know. It's gooey. But that's my turn. So I don't know what
All
just
right.
happened.
Yeah, it's hard to do this kind of creature in Fantasy Grounds, so I'm changing it real quick.
That's
So
fair.
give me 1 second. There we go. Now it's fixed. So now it seemingly has split into 2 entities at the moment. But and it seemingly is moving
Ooh.
separately at the current time. But as you slash across it and do that, that is, you said, the end of your turn. So
Yeah, that's the end of my turn.
it comes down to now both of them, because it is split, and now they are smaller though, and you do see the one that is closer to you, that's going towards your feet. It does scoot slightly more down till it is getting onto the ground, and as it does, it's almost as if it just kind of, the goo just kind of reaches out in a weird way and comes towards you. So that is that's a fat old miss. You just kind of
Yes.
quickly back up and move your leg, and as you do, you realize that it just kind of goes and lands on the ground and doesn't actually touch you.
Oh, it's gross.
Yeah, it's a lot of goop noises. It's not doing very well. The other half of it does seem to like kind of scoot along the wall till it's right close enough to Artis, because Artis was the closest other than Walrus. God, my names are off today. And so the other one will try to do the same thing to Artis. But Artis, you're too fast, and Jelly is just too slow, and Jelly don't shake like that.
Jelly feeling jelly
whoops.
about that?
I have it set the wrong way. But so you just kind of back up a little bit as it just kind of is just slowly flopping towards you and doesn't do that, and it doesn't seem to move any more than that. What you do notice, though, Walrus, is that about 5 more feet away from you is you do see another, about the same size as this one was originally, similar cheese-like entity, yellowish goo sliming towards you, and gets one more attack from that one.
Oh, it doesn't. No.
Well, that one attacks. It does hit.
Oh.
So it deals just 10 damage, 4 of it at being acid, as it. Oh, you didn't. You make sure you hit your rage ability.
I did. Oh, right button.
The effect, actually, because you technically would have only taken. You would have only taken 7 technically. So I just. Well, you'd be at 8 because you took a damage earlier.
I did.
Got it. You 8 damage, or you're 8 total damage. Hey, blah 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 blah. You get hit. You take some damage. It hurts, not as bad as it would because you're raging, but not too bad at the moment. But it comes down to Artis. You do see these 2, like about 5 foot long, like slimy creatures. One that's really close to you, and one that's next to Walrus at the moment.
Okay, I think this is a bad place for us to be. Can anyone do fire magic? Because I really want to burn our way out of here.
Not me, unfortunately.
I'm gonna step back and take a shot at the nearest one with my bow.
Okay. It is close enough to you, so it does get attack of opportunity, for you to back up, but I will... Oh, it does hit. So, as you kind of back up, you don't realize that part of the goo has kind of moved to your side, and as you back up, you almost slightly walk into it as it reaches out towards you, and you feel it hit and slightly burn, but it's not anything crazy bad at the moment, but you realize these things, if we touch them, are pretty dangerous. So then you back up, and you reach out your bow, and you can go ahead and fire at it.
Not engaged in combat, so I won't get sneak attack on it.
Not the one that was closest to you. You could bow one of the other 2 that is next to Walrus and would get sneak attack if you wanted to. But you wouldn't get the one that's closest to you. Up to you, though.
I'll go for one that's engaged with Walrus.
Okay, I would say the one by his feet would be the one you would get the most access to, which is basically the one you're targeting. The larger one, which is right now numbered number 4 because this numbering system got all messed up, Walrus is kind of in the way of it, so I would say it would be a disadvantage if you try to do that one. So
is 2 or 3 the clearest shot?
2 is the clear shot. That hits, and you do get sneak attack.
Mm-hmm. So we select sneak attack.
Yeah, there should be an effect under sneak attack you gotta click.
Oh,
Here, I'll just roll the extra. There's an effect under sneak attack that you click before you roll damage. We haven't done this in a while, so I get it. Don't worry about it. I'll just do that for you. That's another 8 damage, so it's 14. That's enough to get that one. As you shoot your bow, as it kind of conforms a little bit, you see the arrow sink into it right in the middle, and almost as if it just suddenly has it just suddenly loses shape. It almost just, it turns from jelly to water almost. It just kind of and deflates, and kind of there's just a goo that is now kind of slowly making its way now towards the divot in the middle, making its way out at the moment. So it looks like it is dead at the moment. Once I do this, yep, there we go. So one of the medium ones seems to be dead at the moment. But that's your action. Did you want to do anything else? You already backed up.
I want to step further back.
Okay. You kind of have to push past Ethla and Goodbrand a little bit, but you get kind of over to where Olive is, and you're now much farther back than you were a moment ago.
Anything coming behind us?
Make a perception check. Just real quick.
That's a yes, but he's probably not.
Or
It's possible.
Or it's a no, and I just want to make you roll anyway.
That's also true.
It was the at the beginning.
Well, you
itself.
don't know. I do that to mess with people. I actually do that to mess with people. But
He does.
he knows. Yeah, he knows. He plays in my other game. 8. You look back. You don't see anything yet. But you are in the middle of combat. You're not entirely confident.
Yeah.
So you keep an eye on your behind you guys. But at the moment, you don't see anything. I
love that you said behind your guys, and then you said but, and then you stopped for a second. You don't see anything for a moment. Anyway, sorry. That was just being an absolute
you'll
child.
never know.
That was just me being an absolute
You never
child.
know. There could be, or I could just be saying those things because I know
Oh,
you
no, I
guys
was just
think
talking
about it.
behind and butt being like
Oh,
right
yeah.
next to each other
Mhm.
because it was.
But behind. I'm a
Yeah,
child
exactly.
too. It's fine. But it is good turn.
Is there any way I can get within 5 feet of them at the same time?
Yeah, luckily enough, the one next to you is just small enough that you can get... Oh, you know what? No, you couldn't. Walrus is in the way. I just realized the one I was thinking of is dead. So, no, you wouldn't be able to get within both of them.
So there's one right in front of me, though?
Yeah, there's one basically right in front of you.
All right. I definitely don't want to use any slashing damage on it, because I saw what cutting it does.
Yeah. It looked to be cutting it, so you're correct on that.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and just hit it with a stick. In this case, a stick with a big old metal ball at the end of it.
That's a good stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Mace.
Kind of stick.
There we go. Goodbrand is back, baby.
That hits. Roll your damage.
Wait, what? 10
What?
hits?
It's a fucking
I'm not
goop
surprised.
on the ground. It's slow as shit.
All right, hey.
I was like that you were fake cheering, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, that still hits. I don't know what you're mad about. Yeah, you hit it,
Wow.
and again, it's slow, and it does mostly get out of the way, but you hit the side of it, and you see part of it splatter. It's still seemingly
I
alive.
like the idea that I pull up my mace and it's like, cheese pizza.
Yeah, it's very
stretches.
goopy. It's very goopy. It is a little bit... It seemed as though, like, when hitting it and dealing damage, it does turn a more, like, watery consistency. But there's still a little bit of goop on the end of it, and kind of you do have to pull it away a little bit more. And it looks like it's having trouble keeping itself together in kind of a way. It's almost like it's leaking. It's still there, but it is definitely very hurt at the moment.
Well, I'm good for now.
Okay.
That's all I get to do.
Ethla, it is now your turn. You see about 5 feet in front of you where Goodbrand is. There's another one of the little bit of goop that is still alive, and then there's what looks like a larger one on the other side of the walrus, about 10 to 15 feet away.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep it simple. First,
What the
I'm gonna
fuck was that?
I'm
Don't
gonna
know.
go for the let me just check what I'm allowed to do. I'm gonna give some gonna chuck some bardic inspiration over Walrus's way.
Alright.
So let me just roll that.
You don't need to roll it. You just he
okay.
has
Yeah.
inspiration now. So you
Yeah,
use
there
your
we go.
second inspiration to do that. And
And then very simple. I'm just gonna take my rapier and just jam it into one of them. I am targeting the one that I wish to hit.
yes, the one closest to you. Well, yeah, so you kind of scoot right next to Good at the moment. It's a little bit of a squeeze, but luckily you don't need that much room to just and hit him for sure. And with just enough, almost as if you're poking a deflated water balloon, you poke it and it kind of sprays out a little bit, and it just and like just kind of turns more into liquid and starts to like slightly float over to the side. And that one is seemingly also dead. But at the moment, unless you want to move anymore.
I'm happy to stay where I am, as if I'm not in any like a particular danger. I mean, I know I'm in attack range, but that's fine.
You're actually not, because you killed the thing that's in your attack range.
Oh yeah, okay. Well then, yeah, no, I'm fine to stay where I am.
Okay.
I don't want to be moving into attack range.
What would Olive do? This would technically be a disadvantage, but I'll let her do it.
Points at his reindeer.
She goes, well, you asked for fire, and she just kind of whisks her hand up, and a little bit of fire kind of goes, and she kind of tries to angle it away from everyone. I'm gonna have her roll at a disadvantage because there's so many people in front of her, but it's not that hard. It's not that hard to hit because it is ooze. So it's still
hit it, so it must be super easy.
Yeah. So luckily, she just expertly kind of throws it a little bit over your guys' heads and misses the walrus barely as well, and kind of just hits the side of it, not point blank or anything, but it does a little bit of it does actually a fair amount of fire damage because I rolled a 10 on a 10.
Nice.
As it just kind of goes, and it doesn't seem to do anything extra to it, but it does burn away, and you kind of can see a little bit of it almost smoldering from it. But it doesn't seem to do anything completely extra. But she at the moment will kind of stay in the back with Artis, because it doesn't really have anything for a
Does it smell like burnt melted cheese?
No, it does not. It actually doesn't really have a smell, to be honest, which is kind of strange. And Walrus, you're the one who immediately notices that because you're that close to it. It doesn't seem to have any kind of particular smell other than like a small burning like smell, which is weird. But it does come down to your turn now. So it is your turn, Walrus. You are still next to the large one. It's now taken a bit of fire damage.
Can I stab with the javelin rather than throwing it?
Yeah, you can make a melee attack with a javelin.
Then I'll do that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, that's shift. There we go.
Is it shift?
Javelin 18. That'll work.
Yeah, definitely hits. Their AC didn't change in the last 5 seconds.
All right, so then is it the first attack of each turn? Where is it?
Yes, it should
Of
be
your
the first
turn,
attack
so
of the first attack that hits on each turn. While raging, the first creature you hit on each of your turns with a weapon attack deals extra damage equal to that.
Well, that's garbage.
The extra damage is necrotic or radiant, and you already have that chosen.
Roll
10.
2 ones.
I mean, you still got a fair amount of bonus to it. So it's still 10 damage. Not amazing. You're not that used to not throwing javelins, and you kind of just are like, you're just kind of like, If only,
away.
If only you had something on the end of it that you could be dipping in this cheese, it would work very well. But you don't. You just kind of stab at it, and you realize,
I need a cookie.
it's not extremely effective, but it still does. It's still kind of that little flash does a bit of damage as well. So
Oh, that's nice.
it does seem to be hurting it. It's just not as much as you were hoping.
No, that's fair. Yeah, that's the end of my turn. So.
All right.
wanna click
Its turn again. It's gonna kind of slightly slide along the wall right where the other one was, kind of next to Walrus at the moment, and just go after him because it's the only thing nearby. That's a natural 20 from me.
No, it's fine.
Oh, that's a lot of ghost
You
dice.
still partially resist it because you're raging.
Yeah.
So I think the total for that is 18 bludgeoning damage. That's reduced halfway to 9, and only 7 acid damage.
No, I'm
so
fine.
so you only take 16 from the whole thing.
Oh yeah, that's nothing.
As fine. It does like kind of slime and grab at your midsection, and it does burn, but you're big and beefy. It's not that bad in all honesty. I mean, if it got you again, it might be getting close, but that is all it can do at the moment. So
is it just attached to me?
No, it does start to slowly slip backwards.
I was concerned.
I mean, if it was attached to you, it doesn't have anything extra to it or anything. It would just be more for flavor, but it's not entirely attached to you, but it's still kind of reeling back from doing that.
Okay.
So, that is the end of its turn, though. So it's Artis's turn. You see the goop that was next to Walrus's feet kind of move along towards the wall and just kind of reach at him and burn him a bit. And as it kind of is going back into its form near the wall, what would you like to do?
If I crouch, can I shoot between his legs and hit this thing?
Yes, you can. It's still a difficult shot in the tight tunnel, but you can certainly try to do so. I will say he is partially covered, so it just makes it a harder shot, but you can still try it.
Let's hope I don't miss. Someone may get an unpleasant surprise.
I don't like it.
No, that's enough. Even with cover, it's fine. So that does hit. Good, Brent. Almost.
No,
15 damage as you reel your bow back and you get a similar shot. This one seems to sail through the creature. It does hit it as it's reeling back and it goes through it, and you see more of this like gross liquid yellow kind of spill out from its center, and it does seem to even shrink a little bit. Not to make its size any different, but it does shrink a little bit, almost as if it's hurt. It does look hurt. As much as a weird, cheesy slime on the wall could look hurt. So you do a fair amount of damage to it, but at the moment, it's still alive.
And then I check over my shoulder to make sure nothing's approaching from behind.
Roll a d20. Just roll a flat d20. Just because I'm curious. Okay. No, you don't notice anything. So if that's the end of your turn, it is now actually Goodbrand's turn.
Okay. I smack the thing in front of me.
You do have to move. You do have to move a little closer. You have to get next to Walrus. But yeah, it's 5 feet of distance, so it's not that far. Yeah, and then you can.
Wait, it's been hurt though, right?
Oh, it's been hurt.
Okay, then I'm gonna totally dead instead.
Sure.
Boom. Oh, why did it do that? Oh, because it's got to roll.
It's a save instead.
Yeah, okay.
No, but it fails. Turns out a negative 2 to its -2 to its wisdom save is not helping it. They're not
4
very
damage.
Nice. 4 damage. Yeah, you do that, ding, and you see it almost shakes to the same noise, and you do see it like partially shrink. It does seem to have taken the damage. Not enough to kill it, but it definitely has taken damage. For sure. But that's your action to do that. Do you want to do anything else?
And I will end my turn.
Efla, it's your turn.
I don't want to use another one of my bardic inspirations.
You don't have to.
Well, I mean, yeah, I wasn't assuming I was at gunpoint to use them.
Every turn.
I might use I have to use my bardic inspiration. Use it or you lose it.
You're inspired to use it.
I'm gonna, as a bonus action, I'm gonna chuck a level. Artist, how iffy are you feeling? On a pain scale of like scraped knee to broken neck, where would you like put yourself?
So alive to dead.
You're muted, Artis.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Damn. Healing word won't do much now. You're still muted.
New homebrew
You get
rule:
that.
if you use healing word while you're muted, you don't get it. No, I'm kidding.
I'll
Imagine.
I'll check a level 2 healing word towards Artis.
Okay, sure.
If let me just I'm targeting him.
You're
and
targeting
then-
Artis. Just roll it. Yep, that is
Good.
level 2 healing word. So you heal 9 Artis, and Artis feels much better. He is almost fully there.
So that's a lovely bonus action. And now I'm going to just stab the thing.
Stab it.
Wait, am I in range to actually? Can I have movement, so I assume I can use my movement to get close to it.
Are you trying to stab it?
Yeah.
You can barely get close enough to it. Luckily, it's still
Okay.
big, so luckily, even on the wall, it still takes up enough room. You can just barely squeeze next to, or you can get right next to Goodbrand and are luckily able to just get at it, barely.
Oh.
But unfortunately, as you go to hit it, a 7 does not actually hit. You're literally 1 point away from hitting it. It's so funny. It only has
just
an
out of my
8
range.
AC.
I'm trying to reach around.
As
Walrus.
you're trying to
you know
reach around, you go to stab at it, but it seemingly has partially gone back into the wall, into some of the cracks in the wall, so that a little part that you were able to reach just suddenly, and now you just kind of smack the side of the wall, and you just feel a little bit of vibrations as you touch the wall, with it. So you do that. Doesn't unfortunately hit. Do you want to move back, or do you want to stay there? Or do you...
moving back? No, I'll stay. I'm not too worried.
Okay.
Obviously, I've not taken a hit yet.
just
so I'm
checking.
not like, yeah, no, that's fine. I'll stay where I am.
Okay. So Olive gets to go. She's kind of looking at everyone is blocking her still. She's just gonna be like, do y'all have it, or do you need more fire?
I'm fine.
Okay. And I'll just let her forego her turn, because shooting a firebolt with all 3 surrounding the wall at the thing she's trying to hit, it's gonna be harder to do. So Walrus, it's your turn.
Yeah, it is. All right, I'm gonna stab it again. All right, you know what? We're gonna reckless attack it just because I want to murder it. Go.
Murder grilled cheese.
Definitely hits it.
Yep. Okay, and then we go down.
I don't think there's a way it survives this.
I know, but it's fun.
I think
to
if you
do.
roll the 2 ones again, you still make it.
I like seeing the numbers.
Well, you
There we
see a
go.
lot of numbers. Yeah, 2 ones would have killed it anyway. 19. As you this time, you kind of are like, I think that's the middle of it. And luckily, you actually go right where there's the crack that it's starting to hide in. You just pull up your javelin and jab it in there. And it goes even farther than you expect because you get into the crack. And again, like bursting a balloon, you just see it shake for a second and then poof, and yeah, everyone gets all 3 of the people next to it get covered in this just like liquid yellowish thing.
Gross.
It doesn't burn. It's seemingly its burning effect, I guess, only really affected it when it was alive. But you just feel a little bit of tingle, and you just realize that you're now slightly like covered in just this goo. And even like you start to shake it off, and it does partially come off. But you realize you're probably going to need a bath at the end of this anyway. You were probably going to need one anyway, but now you definitely need one. As you do that, you guys take a moment and look around with the light and everything like that. You don't see anything around at the moment.
I don't like this.
But I
Sticky.
do want everyone but... I'll have Olive do one too. Everyone but the 2 people without dark vision, so...
me.
Yeah.
My thing's still lit.
It's right out of torchlight is the reason.
Okay.
Because
I don't like
the
it.
torch only goes to 40 feet. I just want to see if you see something. It's not a big deal. So Walrus, Ethla, and I'll have Olive roll. Just roll a perception check.
Can I use my bardic inspiration for this?
Yes, you still can. It's still perfectly within the time limit for it.
It's a D8, right? This level?
It's a D6 still, I think.
A D6 at this level. Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't get a D8 till next level, I think.
Okay, I couldn't remember. That's not great. That doesn't help me. So that's
No,
fine.
that doesn't.
I don't see shit. I'm just digging goo out of my belly button.
Ethla, you roll a perception check as well.
The grilled cheese in your belly button?
You know, that's actually happened to me
Not
before.
amazing.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, even looking around you guys, you don't really see anything. It's just kind of
We're
an empty
covered in
tunnel.
goo.
Yeah, other than being covered in goo, and Ethla and Walrus, you kind of are trying to blink away some of the goo, realizing that you might have gotten some in your eyes. It feels a little weird, but you're just kind of looking around, and doesn't really seem to be anything around at the moment. There doesn't seem to be any more cheese anywhere. Yeah. Gonna keep looking.
All right. I mean, I guess we go forwards now.
I agree. Onwards and
Onwards.
not upwards.
I hate sewers now. They lie and promise cheese, but it hurts.
So, gonna collect all the coins. The tools run of the mill or anything interesting about them?
No, they're pretty run of the mill. Other than that, they look a little old. Not like they don't look like extremely new. It's not like they don't look like they've been here for a long time. It's more that they're just older coins. So, your guess, it's probably from this, and the tools probably from one of the workers.
Yeah, I gather up the coins and then I'll start leading them to the place 10 minutes away.
If there are tools there, we need to gather them. Sorry, we should gather the tools as well to show that this is probably what killed these men. Someone might recognize the tools.
Yeah?
It's possible.
Okay. So
Gather up
walking the continued way, at the moment you don't see anything. Kind of you continue going, you're kind of looking, you're kind of looking more slightly at the ceilings and the walls and just making sure you don't see any more cheese or anything that looks strangely like it. But at the moment, no, doesn't seem to be anything like that. About 10 or 15 minutes walk, and you realize you do get to the spot where another marking had kind of been placed, but there doesn't seem to be anything there. So there's kind of a third marking, but that's just farther into this tunnel. So you kind of keep going and keep going for another about 10 minutes before you feel like you're getting kind of close to it. I would say everyone make a perception check again.
Perception.
Oh, I just rolled
Perfect.
a-
Fucking perfect.
These are beautiful, guys. These are absolutely beautiful.
We're gonna change my
I'm
colors.
decidedly working
I-
on that.
We're gonna go a nice periwinkle.
I'm still gonna let Olive roll. I'm gonna roll on her. She doesn't have the most amazing perception. Well, she doesn't have any perception, to be honest. Ooh, she rolled a 5. Not great.
We're doing great. We're gonna.
You guys
we're gonna
continue
try.
walking, and Ethla, you don't notice until you get pretty close to it, or you see Artis getting decently close to it. About 20 feet in front of you, so about 10 feet in front of Artis. You see what... It's hard to tell what it is. It almost looks like it looks like... How do I describe this correctly? Like the few like tools and stuff that you had seen before, you see similar looking tools and maybe a couple others, but they almost seem to be like they're standing up in a weird way. Like almost like they're just kind of against the ground, but almost leaning on something.
Okay. But they're not visibly leaning on something.
No, it just looks like one or two of them are kind of just like standing up, like kind of like this, just like kind of near the ground or maybe on the ground. It's hard to tell. You can't tell if they're like floating or not.
Okay.
Good times, good times.
Well, I'm gonna kind of make the group aware of this. I'm gonna. Those tools ahead of us seem to be standing.
And as he finally points it out, you guys all kind of wince your eyes a little bit, and you do see what looks like a bit of a little shine of what looks like the same thing that I just described to him.
Should I go grab him?
Yes, I think we should. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. He's gonna go grab him.
Okay.
He doesn't understand why people are surprised at this. I do, but he doesn't. So he's gonna go.
Wait, Walrus, stop! No, you should not go grab them.
It's too late. You've told him.
I mean, how quick do you tell him not to do that?
Like as soon as I see him walking toward them.
Okay, I'll allow that.
He'll go about halfway still, and then stop and turn around, and look really confused.
Okay, so you're about 5-ish feet
Walrus,
from
do you not understand
where you kind of see
sarcasm?
Well, yes, you said we needed to gather the tools, and then there's like they're just sitting there. We might as well get them.
Well, actually, they're just standing there.
Well, maybe someone decided to take some time to balance them. I knew a guy who could balance on his nose. Wait, no, it was a ball on his nose, not himself.
You are a guy who can balance. Never mind.
Oh, I can't. Tried. Didn't work.
I'm gonna put an arrow in between the two standing tools.
Okay, just roll an attack. Just to see if you somehow roll an extra one.
I would have been rolling. I wouldn't be surprised.
There's something there. I hit it.
Yeah, roll damage for me.
I hit something.
Do I get sneak attack? 'Cause it didn't expect me to do that.
No, I don't think there's a reason you would get sneak attack at all from it.
I mean, surprise.
If there's anything there, technically.
Oh, it didn't turn off.
Oh, that's a lot of ones. That's
Yeah, I'll take.
Hang on. There you go.
Well, you would have technically had. So roll one more, just d6 for me, and I'll do it. That way. So it would have been 11. I'm gonna actually pull this up. I hadn't done it yet. Because I am not as prepared as I thought I would be.
This arrow stops mid-air and goes doing.
So
Just hear someone in the darkness go, "Fuck!"
My nuts!
No, you don't hear any of that. All you see is you reel back this arrow, you fire, and you aim right for the middle of those tools, and you see it sail, but almost as if, like, right before it gets to the tools, you see it almost like it starts to slow down in midair, until about right as it gets a little bit past the tools, it just stops, and it's just floating there.
In the air.
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust it. I don't like it. Can I hit it?
Do me a favor and make a dexterity saving throw first, but
Oh no.
actually roll at a disadvantage because you technically don't get an advantage for it because you're not looking at the moment. So just hit disadvantage, so it'll just make it flat.
Save or check?
Save. It's a save.
It's the same modifier, but makes me feel that's not great.
Oh, it's under what you needed. As you like turn and look at this arrow, and you look back, and you're like, "That's weird." And you start to draw your weapon. You suddenly feel this burning on your back, and you just suddenly kind of slow down, and you're like, "What is?" And you feel like, at first you thought it was just you hadn't gotten all the goop off, but you realize that something has just like kind of almost moved at you, and you realize that you were just now like engulfed into something.
Oh no.
And then you like it's much harder to move, and you guys see the walrus like start to wield his weapon, then almost like kind of like slow down for a second, and you see what looks like a weird like reflection in it.
Oh no.
And you realize there is something there, but it is extremely hard to see, and whatever it is just moved closer.
Is this
enough.
how I die? Do I
Yes.
die to a gelatinous cube?
This would be like a gelatinous cylinder because it's going through a.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Do I die to the world's worst Jello? Probably. 'Cause-
Are we rolling initiative again?
Well, you're about to. I had to do this damage first. Actually, technically, I have to take off your rage. I mean, it's not going to matter for this, but you're not raging.
Done.
I know, I deleted it, but you take a lot of damage
Oh no.
for doing that, and yeah, you are now technically engulfed by it.
I am
As-
still conscious.
Are you deafened when
Steph,
inside of a
Steph.
I will.
gelatinous cube?
Don't
I mean,
think so. It doesn't
It's up
look
to the
like
DM.
it. It doesn't read as it is. I will say for now, just as because you notice this and you realize Walrus is now struggling.
Whoa.
Immediately, yeah, roll initiative is what I was gonna say.
Do I roll initiative?
Yes, you roll initiative still.
Okay.
Because that, like, as that happens, you realize something is happening, and this is how, like, fast you're gonna react to it. I'm gonna say there's gonna be no possible way you guys beat this cube, by the way. Because you guys don't see it, but at the moment, it rolled a -2 for initiative. So,
So it's getting a surprise round, basically.
basically, well, I mean, it'll get
Yeah.
its turn afterwards. It's not like you guys are gonna get 2 full rounds on it, but,
It's
kind of
nice.
engulfing him was basically its surprise round. So,
Oh, okay, cool.
So
I didn't need to roll at a disadvantage, right?
No.
Okay.
No, you just had to, because you weren't looking at it. The
No,
save
I know,
for it
but
engulfing you was
The
not.
only reason is because it's a dexterity thing, and I know.
Well,
that-
now that you're aware of it, if you have to make it again, it won't be a disadvantage, but
Okay.
or it won't be flat roll.
Well, no, I was more thinking because technically I think I'm restrained while engulfed, so I wasn't sure if that counted.
You are restrained, but that doesn't do anything to dexterity, or I mean to your initiative at
Initiative? Okay.
all. And if it does, I think it would have done it automatically the way this
Oh,
usually
okay.
works.
Then it doesn't matter.
On here. So good. Luckily, as you see this, you all see this like slight sheen and realize there is something there. It's kind of hard to tell how big it is and where exactly it's at the moment. Even with the light, it's just like very hard to see. Almost it's just like transparent in its own way. But you do react very quickly, and you realize you see Walrus looks like the acid is like eating at his skin, and you realize that some wounds are starting to appear, and he does not look fantastic. I would say you're not entirely sure if he can hear you or not. If I know that was your question, but
This is gonna suck. Fuck you, Walrus.
Hey, you said collect the tools.
technically,
and he was gonna collect the tools.
technically you would have had disadvantage on the save anyway, but you failed, so it doesn't really matter.
I am going to run forward and pull him out of the cube.
Okay, you can definitely do that.
Well, I could certainly try.
You could certainly, yeah, that's what I meant to say, but I feel like that's contrived. Then roll a strength check for me.
Athletics?
Yes. Or no, strength. Just flat strength.
Balls.
Yeah, it's
All
not
right.
written as athletics, it's just strength.
Well, that's not as good.
Nope.
But
Never is.
I mean, ooh, I was about to say it's not a hard check, but a 6 is not enough. And you unfortunately doing so.
and how much
Oh,
damage do I take?
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Yeah, you take a 9 as
Oh, I
you
thought
go
you
to
would've
reach
sucked in
for
with-
him, and you
Yeah.
and you feel you pull your arms through, and you try to reach for him, but you realize it's a much harder grab. You get a hold of him for a second, but as you go to pull, you realize that the goop you just slip and don't get the thing, and you feel your hands starting to burn, and you're like, and it just. It's not too much, but it's...
I'm looking at my character sheet here. Is that 9 damage that was dealt to me, or do I only have 9 hit points?
No, 9 damage that was dealt to you. The way this...
I
this-
have 9 hit points left.
Got it.
Well, he can't
Got
see
it.
that, but for the number there, that's how much damage you've taken.
Yeah,
The
that's right.
31
Okay,
is your max.
So I stand back, So I stand back and I cast spiritual weapon behind it.
Okay, yeah, you can do that. So that's your bonus. So that's your bonus action to do it, and then you can make a swing at it.
Please don't smack me.
That definitely hits.
And then I will damage it.
Yep,
I'm
9
just gonna tap
damage.
it and not damage
You hit it, and you guys even see like the tools and a few things, and also Walrus almost shake a little bit as it gets hit from behind. And now you can kind of see where it ends. It seems to be decently large, and seems to cover like the pathway that you guys are walking towards. So it covers seemingly the whole thing. But yeah, that's.
You see the cube jiggle, and then
and it's
Walrus's
still
belly
moving
jiggle.
forward, right?
Not at the moment. It did just slide forward, so it might slide even more, but it's not.
Can I just like try to keep pace with the way it's sliding so that I don't end up inside of it?
Sure.
So that I don't move out of its combat range, but like I'm aware of the fact that it's moving. Because that's something you could do in real life, but that I also understand game mechanics don't allow for.
Yeah.
If not, I'm going to just back up as much as I can.
Yeah,
and take an opportunity attack,
its
'cause I'm not
initiative is
getting
not
engulfed
great.
by this
Yeah,
thing.
I would just say you backing up.
See, I know it's
Yeah.
one of those things.
It's one of those things like
something
it's
that you'd
technically in
want-
reality, but you're also in a tight tunnel with all the people behind you that are also trying to do whatever they're going to do on their next
who could
turn.
also back up too.
and you
thing.
spent the time to pull it out.
Yeah.
I would say no, but I will say this gives you a slightly higher chance if he does go towards you
then
to get out.
Then
of
I'm
it.
just going to use the rest of my movement to get out of it to back up.
Okay, then you can do that. I'll just say you can do that, and
I mean, I assume
Yeah.
it gets an opportunity.
yeah,
attack.
and I'm just making sure that he would do it. But he misses. It's
Yeah.
You see, you hear a little bit of a goop noise as you leave, but you again, it's so
Yeah.
hard to see that you don't know where it came from. It just missed because you were fast enough.
So desperately hate goop noises.
All right, well,
That did not work. Can somebody heal him from inside there?
I have an idea.
you guys see as no, I knew that was gonna happen. I knew that was gonna
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
Right at the beginning of his turn, you guys see the acid even burn him more, and you see even Walrus kind of slightly grabs at his throat as you realize he's probably not able to breathe at the moment, and you just see him go like much more. It looks like he goes limp. He doesn't seem to move anymore, and his eyes seem to shut, but he's still like floating there. So he hasn't like fallen to the ground at the moment, but he's still like this at the moment. But that is the case, as he's just kind of floating there at the moment. But he doesn't. I'll see, since that's at the beginning of his turn, he doesn't really make a death save. Right
that's
now,
nice.
Luckily enough.
Thank you.
But he's gonna fail one next turn immediately when he takes damage if he's still.
Wait
Oh,
a second, though.
Unless he
Don't
gets healed.
death
If he
saves
gets,
happen
it
at
doesn't
the end
matter.
of your turn?
It doesn't matter. I thought it was at the beginning.
What?
Oh no, it does it at the beginning. Okay, the way this is worded is weird. Actually, Austin, you do get your turn. Sorry.
That's nice.
Just imagine you have your turn. I'll change your
okay.
health back the way it was.
That's
Sorry,
fine.
I messed that up.
Escape.
Well, no, I already knew what he was gonna do, and he's gonna do this.
Oh no.
Well, no, it's not a bad thing.
Oh.
No, I need to go to standard to see it, I think. Yeah, I do. There it is.
It's not a full body flashlight.
I'm gonna shift as a
Okay.
bonus action.
I have a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
So, just doing a little bit of reading. I believe my tail says that I can immediately use my reaction.
Well, here. Okay.
Does it have to be my turn to react?
This is why the wording of it is extremely weird. When you use your bonus, you can use your bonus action to learn a tale, and that tale is in your mind,
Yes.
and you did that earlier
I've
today.
got the tail.
You have to use your action to give it to someone. So you have to use your like the way it's worded. It's such a weird thing. The way this is mechanic is.
You have to buy
it
a cookie
says,
and then give yourself the cookie.
Yeah,
and then
you
eat
have
the
to
cookie.
say. So you now have the tail in your head. You can use an action to choose one creature you can see within 30 feet of you. This can be yourself to be the target of the tail's effect. And once you do so, you can't use the tail's effect unless you roll it again on the table. So basically, you now have the teleporting thing. On your turn, you can use your action to give it to someone, and then they can immediately use their reaction right then and there to do it. So you can give it to Walrus on your turn, and he can teleport out of there on his turn using his reaction.
Could I cheat the system by using a reaction instead of an action to teleport myself, and then just give my
You can teleport yourself and give him
now.
the teleport, and he do it as well. Like it's
No,
the
but
same
it takes
thing.
an action though.
No,
Regardless.
it's an action to give it to someone. I don't think it's an action if I use it myself.
It's an action to give it to a creature. You are a
Yeah,
creature,
and
so
he
it's an
counts
action
it,
to
and
give it
you
to yourself.
yourself count as that creature.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Okay, I understand now.
Because
I
some
thought
of
it
the
was
other
only if I was giving it to
tails,
someone
some
else.
of the other tails don't use your reaction. This one, it's a weird mechanic.
Okay, so I
it's
just
a
have to
little
wait until my
complicated.
turn. To
Wait
do that.
until your
Okay.
turn. It uses your action, and you can give it to yourself and have people around you teleport as well, or you can give it to him and he can have people around him
It is
teleport.
also going to use your reaction on that turn as well.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But so you shift, you get your temporary hit points for that, and you have the additional AC bonus. That's your
I have
bonus
an
action to do it, right?
My action is to slash out with my hand axe. And
Wait, are you still inside of it?
yeah,
It hits.
his reaction to it does. That's
You
nice.
need to not be targeting yourself though.
I didn't think I was.
No, but that's fine. I fixed it. And your shift, it should automatically target you. You should never have to target yourself for it.
I didn't target myself.
Yeah, you somehow
you know
did.
what? I must have by accident. That's fine. Okay, and then damage is this. I don't have to drag it because I'm targeting it. 5.
It makes sense. You can barely move inside there. It's really hard to hit it from inside.
Yeah. Well, he's
Trying to carve my way out.
Wait, why do you
It's his
have
thought process.
why do you have advantage?
I have no idea.
Reckless attack.
Did you reckless or not?
No, I reckless back in the other one.
Just roll a d20 for me. I might have still stayed on for some reason. Just roll a d20, and that's why. Because you rolled a natural 1. That's the only thing I was like. If you roll a natural 1, because you're technically restrained, it's hard to move.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. I thought there was a reason, so I didn't question it.
No,
it
it says advantage and disadvantage next to your thing, so that means somehow you were getting advantage, but I don't know why that would have been the case.
It hasn't been turned off effects.
Means he has advantage to hit it.
There's no effect that's doing it, so he must have accidentally clicked advantage at some point. I don't know why.
I clicked advantage for when I did the. I clicked the effect for advantage when I did reckless before.
It's
and then
still,
I clicked disadvantage when I don't know.
I don't know. It's fine. It's fixed that way.
It's
You
fine.
rolled a natural 1, unfortunately.
I did.
Because
fine.
it's a disadvantage, and
Yep.
I will take off the little bit of damage you did, but that's fine. You just go, and you honestly you're able to get your hand all the way down to your hand axe, but as you go to like do anything with it, you realize that it's just much tougher to move than you're expecting. It takes like your entire turn to even like get down there to that.
Okay.
But you do shift, and you feel your body transform and everything like that, and you're good for that.
Does moving damage me?
Not it doesn't seem like at the moment. It does hurt, but I'll count that as the damage you take at the start of its turn, technically.
Okay.
Clicking on all the wrong sheets here. I need olive sheets. There we go. She doesn't have anything to absolutely help him, so she'll just cast Magic Missile at 2nd level because that makes sense. So 3, 4 would be level 2. She just kind of stays in the back, kind of unsure what the you guys are dealing with, and just kind of raises her hand, and 4 darts kind of appear and go around all of you and kind of just smack into the side of it, dealing some damage. It looks like you guys hear little bits of as it hits, but
That's gross.
I know. That's the point. And she kind of just keeps back. She kind of stays back and kind of stays away from it at the moment. Efla, it's your turn though. So now is the time you can do that. And you're muted.
Whoops. Yeah. Obviously, I'll just straight up use my action, chuck my runaway tail towards Walrus.
So
And
Walrus, you
allow
can.
him-
So now Walrus, you can use your reaction to teleport 30 feet.
Okay. I'll
Alright.
teleport.
Yeah.
10 feet in front of it.
10 feet in front of it. Okay, so you're basically right behind Goodbrand. And you can
I think
give.
that's what the
You
range
can.
is 10. Yeah.
So yeah, and then you
That's
can.
30. It's up to
Well, no,
30.
Goodbrand backed up.
No, for the halberd.
Oh, I'm sorry.
10.
Goodbrand did back up. So
Oh.
you're technically right in front of Artis.
Okay.
So you're still at the front of the pack, but you are now out of the cube and back and not restrained. And you can technically
nice.
give the ability to people to teleport to everyone else because you're close enough now.
Oh, give it to me! Give it to me! Give it to me!
I mean, you can give it to literally everyone else, and they can use it or not.
Yeah.
That's up to them. So I will just say you kind of, the magic kind of spreads from you, and you choose everyone, and you guys can decide whether to use your reactions or
I
not.
want to use my reaction to teleport behind it. As far behind it as I can.
Make a perception check.
Okay.
Because it is hard to tell how far it is. Even though you did hit it, it's slightly still moving. So I just want to make.
a line of gelatinous cubes all the way
Oh.
back.
Yeah, you needed, you didn't need that much for sure. A 26 will definitely do it. Yeah, you now kind of right at the moment you're thinking of doing it, your light does shine right on it, and you almost see a full shine of its entire cube-like form. The first time actually kind of seeing its generic shape, and you realize, oh, it goes to basically right next to where your spiritual weapon is. So you just instinctively and shift as well as this magic lets you, and you get behind it.
Cool.
How high is the ceiling?
Ceiling here is about 12 feet tall. It does curve, so from the middle it's a bit higher, but where you guys are at, it's about 12-ish feet.
I maybe should have healed the walrus before I did that. Oh well.
Don't worry about it, because as my bonus action, I'll chuck a level 2 healing word at him.
Okay.
Many thanks.
So I can use this reaction anytime, or do I need to use it now?
You would have to use it now, but you get your reaction at the start of your turn, so technically this is almost free for you. The only ones it really would matter for is everyone else. You technically kind of get it for free if you want to use it.
Yeah, if there was higher ground, I would have gone for that, but...
How far behind it did I get?
I mean-
How far away from it am I?
That's up to you. You could have picked...
I wanted to be like 20... Like, I wanted to be as
Okay,
far away from it as possible
You
on
couldn't
the other
get
side.
20, but you could get 15.
15. Okay, cool. Wonderful.
Yeah, no, that makes... Well... Yeah, you
10
would have...
feet's good,
You
too.
would have backed up, 15 feet would make
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
And
15.
technically, Artist, you can... There is still the divot in the middle and the other pathway on the other side of the room. So if you can't get higher ground, but if you wanted to be somewhere else, you could go to that side if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'll take one of the open sides.
Okay. So you kind of just... And you kind of appear like 10 or 15 feet to the other side of the tunnel. So now you can see the rest of your companions, and it's still, it's hard to tell where that thing is. Even with the light shining on it, you can kind of see where the stuff is floating a little bit, but it's hard to tell like where it begins and where it ends. Especially because you're now farther away from it. But yeah, you're now on that side.
And I'll teleport to be right behind Walrus.
Okay. That's basically a few feet in front of you, so you do that.
Yeah, I could run there, but
No,
it's
I know.
fancier to teleport.
I know.
So.
I'm just letting you know. So you just like shift a little bit in front, right next to him, and yeah. So that's everything but your movement. Did you want to do anything else?
No, I'm good. I'll stay where I am.
All right. Perfect. Then, Artis.
I shall shoot an arrow in between the tools again.
Okay.
Seems to be at least a reasonable measure of going I know that there's bits of it in between this and this.
Yeah. So yeah, it's still a roll to attack, but again, it doesn't have it doesn't have a big AC at all. So it's like you pretty much have to roll it after one, but still let you roll.
Natural one incoming. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, 25 definitely hits.
And because it's engaged, do I get a sneak attack? Because it's got a spiritual
think
weapon in its butt.
The spiritual weapon technically does not count, but luckily enough, Walrus has such a long reach that it technically still would count. No, actually it doesn't, because I think the way it's worded is it has to be within 5 feet, doesn't it?
Oh no, it has to be within 5 feet.
No,
I
so
think
you technically don't get sneak attack.
I think it's swashbuckler that's the other way around.
Yeah, you technically don't get sneak attack. So, but you do get your arrow damage. Apologies, yeah. But I'm betting you someone will get closer in a second. Just by the basis of it. Okay. You do 7 damage to it, it looks like. You see your arrow sail again. This time it does again. You can see your other arrow flying, and this one flies in as well and almost lands almost on top of it a little bit. And you did hit it for sure. It's hard to tell how much damage it's doing though.
No, but I've got a target reference point.
You do.
That if I shoot
You do.
that general area, I'm gonna hit it.
Yeah, more than likely for sure. Did you want to do anything else? Just making sure you.
Gonna have a look over my shoulder.
Make a perception check.
I can do that. 1 perception check coming up.
20.
I see it.
You do actually now slightly see the shimmer of it, but what you're now starting to notice is the light shining off of the mace. It's shining off of that, but you start to notice that it's shining off of a few other things as well, and you're now looking and you realize that very similar to this entity, there are what looks like a much smaller, like small as in like you could hold it in your hand.
It's adorable.
Version of it, and there seem to be a lot that are just kind of like nearby, and you even look like kind of the light is just barely getting over to your side, but you can kind of even see near your feet there are much smaller versions of these that are just slowly moving nearby your guys' feet. And
Guys, we got a bigger problem here. This thing's got babies, and they're all over the floor.
Oh, they're adorable.
so that like echoes, and you guys like look down. It's still extremely hard to see, but every once in a while you catch a little glimpse of one. So with that being the case, it's its turn, and oh god, the only one that's close enough really is, oh wait, oh, the way this is worded, it would allow that, I guess. Let's do it this way. This is funner. Austin, even or odd?
No, don't ask me that.
You're the one that's more damaged, so I'm gonna call you.
Yeah, it's fucking okay. Even.
Even. Okay. Good, Brand.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
It's hard to tell until it's right up close to you, but you realize it's now.
Well, hold on though. My spiritual weapon is right up on it, at that like in between me and it.
I don't think the spiritual weapon is corporeal.
It's not corporeal, but it would be easy to tell that went inside the cube.
I mean, it's not like the spiritual weapon like decays if the cube touches it, and the cube is practically invisible.
All right. I'm just trying to give myself anything, okay?
Your passive perception is luckily good enough that with that and your light coming, it comes close enough to you, but apparently it is a little bit faster than you were expecting, and you weren't able to teleport just far enough. It barely gets to you.
Oh, damn.
But as it does, it requires you to make this save. Just make a dexterity save at disadvantage.
Oh my god. No.
No. Thank you, but no.
I
you
won't.
don't need disadvantage. You're gonna fail it.
I won't.
Yeah. As it does barely get over to you, and you feel a similar feeling that Walrus felt, as you feel it almost encapsulate you, and just you get absorbed into its space, and you find it harder to move.
This is fine. Everything's fine.
Wow, I'm rolling really well on that. You take 17 acid damage as it like absorbs you, and you guys see Goodbrand like trying to back up, but as he does, he almost slows down and almost kind of freezes in place. As you realize that he is in a similar situation that Walrus was a second ago, and you are technically restrained. I'm just gonna add restrained this way so it doesn't do the damage automatically. All right.
In no way am I okay with what's happening right now.
That is, I think, all I can do. Yeah. That's all I can do, though. And you also can't breathe, technically, but you're still fine at the moment. But it is your turn. You are restrained, so it is harder to move.
It's my turn?
Yeah, it is your turn.
Okay. So there's no way to try to escape this thing?
You can try. You can try to escape. If you want to. It costs an action to do so, but you can.
Yeah, I know. About to go unconscious, boys. Somebody save me. Here comes a strength check. Is it athletics?
Nope, it's just strength, unfortunately.
Okay, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense with grappling, but there we go. I'm still stuck.
Well, it's technically not grappled. It's its own ability. And unfortunately, 9 is not enough. You feel yourself move slightly closer to what you believe is to the end of the creature, but
bonus action, I'll attack with my spiritual weapon.
Sure, it's still within range, just barely. But like it's again, it's kind of like
the spiritual weapon is inside of it.
No, it moved far enough where the spiritual weapon is still outside of it.
Okay. Well, the thing is the spiritual weapon was 5 feet away from it here. And I was 5 feet back from that 10 feet away. So this thing moved toward me, then the spiritual weapon is just on the other side of it 5 feet.
Here's okay. This thing looks to be about 10 feet long. You put the spiritual weapon right behind it.
Definitely inside of it.
Well, you put the spiritual weapon right behind it, and you said you wanted to be 15 feet away from the cube, right?
Well, okay, so again, I'm thinking squares is in like D&D, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is a whatever universe. So it was technically 5 feet behind it. If it moved 5 feet, so I was 10 feet behind it in this square. It was 5 feet behind it in this square. The gelatinous cube was here.
I understand.
So
what I said earlier is you said you wanted to be 15 feet behind it.
Oh, 15. I thought
no, I said you got 15 feet.
So then I can still move it though with the bonus action. So
it's in melee range. It's just not inside of it.
Okay.
So you don't have to move it, is what I'm saying. I'm just saying it's just barely outside of it, so you smack it.
All right.
It's fine.
Then I am making much ado about absolutely nothing, and I smack it.
That's good. Go ahead.
Where is that spell? Spiritual weapon. There it is. Oh, I don't know why I clicked it twice. Shoot.
Yeah.
The first one was a 9.
You didn't click it twice. You technically Again, the way D&D works, because you're restrained, even though you still have to move it with your your spell. It's the way it works.
I did not mean to click it again.
You're good. Because you're restrained, it technically still gives you disadvantage on this, even though you're moving it with magical means. But it doesn't matter. Its AC is garbage, so you hit it anyway. 9. So 9 damage to it. It still smacks it, and you hear as it gets hit, and deals some kind of damage, but you're still unsure how much it's taken or how much it's got left or anything like that. That's got to be the end of your turn, because that would be everything you had. So, Walrus, it's your turn. You now see that it seemingly has moved about 15 feet farther than it has before.
How far is Goodbrand into this cube? Can I tell?
From your perspective, he's 10 feet into it, so he's on the other side of it from you. you would have to either actually, unless you went into the divot and around, you wouldn't be able to reach him.
Good, Brand, even or odd?
Take my method.
Here, wait. You know what?
Well, no, I have a dice.
I know.
Odd.
Yeah, okay. I don't know if this is gonna work, so we're gonna see. Goodbrand's still my employer. I am employed to protect him and Olive. Olive's behind me, out of the distance of the cube, so I have to protect Goodbrand. So if I hold the halberd with the blunt end towards Goodbrand,
I see where this is going.
yes, you see where this is going, and sort of take a running dive, aiming the blunt end at Goodbrand. Could I propel myself hard enough into this cube to push him out of the cube?
Oh God! I love this. I love this.
You're just going
this
to
is
end up
awesome.
in the cube with me.
I love.
I got
this.
a D in physics, so
this.
no, I don't.
Okay.
Are you doing anything?
My head, this makes sense.
Are you doing anything before you do this?
I'm raging. Yeah.
Okay, rage first.
Yeah. Action.
I don't think we have enough people in the gelatinous cube.
Now make
Honest.
your strength check because you're gonna get an advantage now that you're raging. I assumed you were gonna rage, which is why I asked you that first.
No, I was. I wanted to make sure you let me do it first. Rage.
I'll let you do anything stupid. That's fine with me.
Well, no, I wanted to make sure, like, even logistically, if that was an option.
No, you have a reach weapon. It's luckily just enough. You might bone yourself by doing that, but that's fine with me.
I have enough ace. I have enough hit points.
Well,
It'll be fine.
We'll see.
I got 13 temporary and
you run forward and by the way, this is your action to do so.
18 otherwise.
So you run forward charging, and with that rage, you immediately you turn your weapon around and you hold it in just the right way, and you leap and almost just stab forward. And Goodbrand, you're kind of seeing this happen and just frozen. You're like, no. And as you do that, you suddenly get hit in the gut, and the little bit of wind that you were holding in, you do feel gut out, but it's enough force that luckily you were near the edge, and you just and you pop out right behind where the cube is. But now you see Walrus, who is now like this in the middle of it, almost like he's just a Roman statue that's holding out like an amazing pose, and you see him doing that, and you immediately take...
Be fine. It can't roll the amount of damage it needs to knock me unconscious.
No, it rolls enough to get most of your temporary hit points gone, though.
That's fine. That's what they're for.
And so Goodbrand is no longer restrained, but now you are restrained.
That's okay.
And that's your action and your bonus action, and now you can't move, so...
That's fine. He's out of the cube. That's what matters.
That's perfectly fine. Olive is going to look super confused at what had just happened, and pull up her spell sheet so I actually know what she can do. And she will just conjure, because this worked last time with weird goo things, she'll just conjure a ball of fire in her hand, but this one seems a little bit larger, as she'll cast Chromatic Orb at 4th level at it. Or, I mean, not 4th level. God, 2nd level. It's 4d8. I'm reading things
I would like
wrong.
to inform the group that this is the first time one of my plans has actually worked. Not injure another party member.
Correct. He always rolls bad on his plans. 19 fire damage as she conjures up this orb of fire and throws it at it, and it just hits the side right behind where Walrus just went into this creature. Still, it's still seemingly there, but it has done a bit of damage, and she's just gonna stay back.
Please tell me my feet are dangling out the other side of this thing.
No, you're fully in it.
Okay, I'm fully in.
No, you did a courageous leap inside. You are in it.
I'm okay with this.
I am going to straight away bonus action healing word the walrus.
Certainly.
'Cause he's just in the immediate danger.
This is why I was confident in my plan.
Well, we'll see how good this roll is.
It's
Yeah, that's plenty.
all right. Yeah,
Fine.
maybe one more turn of being alive.
At least 2.
And then seeing the kind of the hell that is going on in front of me, I'm going to, against my better judgment, run towards it and just pierce it. I'm not stabbing in the direction of Walrus.
Much
probably
appreciated.
a separate section of the keep,
Yeah,
but,
I get that. You kind of move a little bit over the side and stab where he's not. That's perfectly fine. Roll your attack.
just give me a sec to target it.
No, you're good.
There we go.
Definitely hits.
And do something good.
9, as you run forward and just stab, and you feel it hit something, even though it's hard to see, and you just hear as you pull it out, and like almost like this weird slime just kind of splats to the floor. Still fairly transparent, but seemingly did some damage. Again, you don't know how beefy this thing is.
Cool. Then that'll be me.
Okay. Artis, you're across at the moment, and you see all this happen. You see Goodbrand get absorbed into it, as you can now kind of even more see it move, especially now that the light it was inside of it for a second. It almost illuminated it a little bit more. As you then see Walrus get mad, run, and like shove him through with his weapon as Elfla runs forward and stabs it. So now you see Walrus is just floating in it. What would you like to do?
Well, now I'm pretty confident that this cube is distracted. So I'm going to aim for my other arrows, which I'm assuming are below the walrus in his mid-air.
Yeah, they're a little. Yeah, they're a little bit below him.
So yeah, I'm gonna try and put an arrow into it.
Okay, go ahead and roll your
None
attack.
of my spells would be any good for this, so go with what works.
That hits. Yep, and you do get sneak attack because a flow's on it. Yeah. You hit, and this one goes much farther, and you're not sure if it hits the wall on the other side, but it seems to go either through the entire cube or almost all the way through. And you feel like you've done a good amount of damage to it. You know, again, you guys don't know how hurt it is because it's basically invisible.
Cube
But
of Jello.
but yeah, it does a fair amount of damage to it. So that's your action.
Guys, I think that one went through. By smushing this thing.
Walrus, you hear. Did you want to do anything else on your turn, though?
I'm gonna check over my shoulder again to make sure nothing's approaching from behind.
I'll even just not even make you do the check. No, there doesn't seem to be anything other than these smaller creatures that don't seem to really be paying you any mind. There doesn't seem to be anything.
That's my action.
Okay. It's the cube's turn, which means I'm gonna roll this many dice.
That's more dice than I wanted.
And you take 23 acid
That's
damage.
not good. That's bad.
I could have rolled a little bit
Yes,
higher.
That's more damage than I thought it would be.
Why do you think I was worried? When you did it?
It's me. Every plan I have makes everyone worried.
Um,
It'll be fine. Probably.
Does it deal with the thing that's inside of it, or does it deal with the thing stabbing it? That's the real question. All right. Who would be the problem? Okay, one. Okay, this is
The
how I'll
fat
do it.
man or the skinny pokey man?
The skinny Pokemon, apparently.
Perfect.
It's not smart, and I just picked one at random, and so Ethla, make a dexterity save at disadvantage.
Oh, disadvantage. That's not what I want to hear.
Oh, am I gonna have a friend? Eflo, you're gonna be my friend inside the cube.
Wait, so how do I roll with this? There we go.
Yeah, if you
dis.
click dis and then roll the save after,
Yeah.
it'll be a disadvantage then.
Really?
Join
On.
Oof, rough. Unfortunately,
I've been rolling terrible.
unfortunately, you do see it moving towards you, and you start to back up, but you don't realize that all the slime that you just did from attacking it is under your feet, and you just slip and like immediately like and then fall directly into it, where you see you like kind of look over and you see that Walrus is basically right next to you at the moment, so you're restrained at the moment, and you take this much. Oh, not.
Even though I'm restrained, can I wave?
Oh,
Well,
this
yeah,
is
you
not-
give a little like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went
Did he
back.
wave or was that a death shudder?
Nah,
Could
at
be
least
either.
I'm fine.
It's
I'm
hard to
fine.
tell from the outside.
Oh,
13
no.
acid damage as you get hit. Or as it absorbs you, you feel the burning sensation of it kind of coming around you. But that's all it gets to do as it moves closer to it moved through Efla and is moving closer to Olive at the moment, but Olive is still far enough back to be fine. But
As it
plus-
moves, I don't
Okay.
happen to slide out of it, do I?
Nope, you move with it.
Okay.
I back up 30 feet. I cast Toll the Dead. Did I hit it? I guess I should have asked if I hit it first.
I didn't have to.
And I
It
actually
didn't
rolled
actually
the-
roll the save, so I'm gonna have to fix it. Hold up.
Oh, okay.
Where does it say that? Can you? Oh, that's good. Whoops.
Here, wait. I'll just do this. I'll just do this because that'll make it roll it, right? Boom.
Yeah,
Okay, good. Did I hit him?
it hits. So
Okay, there's my D12. 2.
same
Lovely.
number.
The same number. That's
Perfect.
great. But then I also attack it with my spiritual weapon, and I hit.
Yes.
Bam.
5 more
Awesome.
damage. Yeah.
Doing great, dude.
As you hit with both of
But I
these
did
things,
back up 30 feet.
yeah, you did. You backed up very far away from it, and you didn't bang your shield at the same time. Your weapon swings down and hits it, and again, you just see everything inside of it, including your two companions, just jiggle. And you're not sure how much it did, but you felt like it didn't do that much. Unfortunately.
TPK.
So
TPK.
yeah, that's all your stuff.
Dude, if a level 4 party gets TPK'd by a gelatinous cube, I'm done. I'm not playing D&D ever again. No, but I was. We can keep going. I was expecting to end at 3. I have some things that I just need to grab and do real quick. I'm probably gonna have to eat on stream if that's cool with you. But
No, that's fine. I mean, we're almost done. This is, trust me, not going to take much longer.
well, I understand, but like if I don't start now, it won't.
No,
be done.
go ahead,
I might
go.
Be done before 4. It's complicated.
Good.
I'll be back.
Walrus, what do you want to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna just try to. If I swing my halberd back around, will that count as an attack?
You can make a halberd attack if you want
Okay,
to, but
that was
because you are
basically my
restrained, you are at a disadvantage unless you
fine.
decide to
Fine.
do your
Wanna
thing
hack
that
my
I
way
meant
out
to
of it.
say. What reckless attack? If you reckless attack, it's straight.
Yeah, I'll reckless attack. Not like I can get advantage on me.
Yeah, it hits. Again, it's ace unless you roll a 1. It's you're hitting.
Boop.
Yeah, this is over.
Bam. Yeah.
Yeah.
From in the cube.
Yeah, you guys see as Walrus is getting burned and angry, you see him just slowly grab at his halberd with both hands, and as he does, you see him start to move, and as he starts to move, he gets faster and faster as he just goes, and as he does, you guys feel, the people that are trapped inside feel the top half of the thing that's covering you just almost turn to gel and just like, and as it does, you feel the top halves of your body feeling uncovered as he goes and pulls up his halberd again and swings up and down, almost cutting it in half again, and right between himself and Ethla, and as it does, it again kind of slices it in half, and it's hard to tell, but you start to see a lot of it shine off from the light. This kind of liquid that just kind of and shifts itself over into the indent in the ground and just kind of moves along with the liquid inside the water and just kind of just slowly disappears down the tunnel.
Perfect.
As you are no longer restrained and you're not taking any more damage.
Perfect plan. Worked flawlessly.
That was a close one, guys.
It was certainly close.
Nah, we would fine. You gotta have confidence no matter what happens.
You guys,
Even if it's horrible.
you guys see that he's saying that as he's slightly wincing, like and he's not doing it on purpose. It's more happenstance. He's just like standing there like not on purpose, but he's just kind of standing there looking pretty confident still.
Oh yeah.
At the moment you look around, it's hard to see. There doesn't look to be like another creature like that. Even the little ones that are still there, they're still there, but again, they're paying you no mind. You're unsure what their purpose is, or if they're even connect. You can try. This is gonna be so funny.
No.
You pick it up and you realize it hurts. As you pick it up and it almost like slime, like you realize that it just like on tops of your hand, and you realize your hand is trapped inside of it.
Oh no.
And it burns, and you're like, and you
Why does this happens every time I encounter it? I'm gonna throw it at a wall. What?
No, you go unconscious. Fuck you.
I didn't know it was that many points.
I rolled a d6 and it happened to be enough.
No.
It's acid. What do you want from me? You fucking pick up a tiny gelatinous cube.
I didn't think it would do anything.
It fucking hurts is what it does.
What, were you gonna keep it as a pet? What was the plan here?
He said they didn't seem to serve a purpose, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna pick it up. Maybe it's got something in it we don't see. I don't know.
Unfortunately, it still seems to be made of a similar thing. It just doesn't seem to be aggressive or anything. But unfortunately, picking it up, the instinctual gravity of it just kind of absorbs. It just absorbs your hand, and before you take a moment to do anything about it, it burns enough that your body just goes into shock and you fall to the ground unconscious.
Ethla, can you fix me?
I can fix you. Can I like gently? Can I just gently like scrape the cube off his hand with my rapier? Just kind of like scrape it off and flick it to the side.
Yeah, I mean, as he falls unconscious, it slips off. Like he falls to the ground and it falls off. I will say, but
I'll just I'll get down to his ear and just whisper a healing word into his ear.
It's okay. No one saw that. You can get up now. Sure, just roll the health for it.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Not amazing, but it's enough to get you
it's
up.
all you need, yeah.
The little bit of burn from the hand heals, and even like a little bit more than that heals, and Walrus, you just wake up annoyed.
Okay. This is a stupid question.
Are there any more I can touch?
No. Well, I know there are. The question is, will shoes protect you from tiny gelatinous cubes?
You'd have to find out. I don't know. I do know, but I'm not going to tell you. You have no idea.
That's the thing. I don't know. He's annoyed. He's going to stomp on them.
How many are you going to stomp on?
He's going to jump to as many as he can jump on.
I mean...
well, they're tiny.
Roll a perception check. Roll a perception check.
Okay.
Because I want to... Because it does actually matter.
I'm completely there. I'll just do that. It's 14.
Okay.
because I have a 0.
You see 5 that seemingly are slightly covered in the goop from this large one, and you go and you stomp on them, and seemingly squishing them doesn't seem to hurt you because luckily enough you're doing enough damage to them where it just seemingly splats them.
There we go. See?
But after you do those 5, you look around and you don't see any more.
Perfect.
You're not sure if they're not there or you're just not seeing them, but
That's perfect. He's happy now. I hate cubes.
Well, we know why those rats down here.
Yeah, they got
That
eaten by
thing's
these things.
essentially been cleaning out the sewers.
I'm interested how they got down here. Where they came from.
They're dead now.
No, that's fair enough.
They hurt and they're stupid, but they're dead.
Can we take a short rest?
if you guys want
Probably.
to, that's up to you.
I think now's with looking at the combat tracker here. Now's a good time for a
What
short
do you
rest.
mean?
With
That's
two,
fine.
With 2 people at critical, 1 person at moderate, and 1 person at light damage.
Oh
Yeah.
no, it's fine. Nobody tell him what happened.
Nobody
I'm on
tells-
the other side of the gelatinous cube. I have no idea what's going on.
Ah,
No.
perfect.
It's
Yeah. Well, it died, but
Nothing else happened after that.
well, I'll send you the clip of it later.
Are the babies causing problems?
Let's say someone
Of course
picked.
not. No,
let's
that'd be stupid.
say the person at the lowest health decided to pick one up and take a little bit of damage.
Oh my god.
Enough to
That
maybe
would be ridiculous.
enough
Who
to
would
maybe
do
after
that?
killing a huge one went unconscious.
That would be dumb. Who would do that?
He's fine now though.
Well, if Good Brad would have known that, he would have walked over and gave him a cure wounds.
I would say Ethla was closer and was able to do something, so
Okay, cool.
it's fine. I didn't want to. I assumed you would, but I didn't want to, so it's fine. It doesn't matter. I wouldn't.
No,
have-
I'll actually just drop it either way because he's hurt really bad and we're still down here.
Well, you guys were suggesting
actually-
taking a short rest.
Oh, okay. That's great.
Or that's what was being suggested. That's up to you guys if you want to actually do it or not.
I
That
do
or
in
we
favor.
could leave and come back.
Is there
because
anywhere we can
that's
take a short rest here that we won't be sitting in shit?
Yeah, no, I mean, the main pathways are dirty, but they don't seem to be like covered in crap or the chance of it. Other than the smell, it's not the cleanest place, but it's
Yeah,
It's-
but that's not terrible.
it's not terrible. And other than the smell, it's not going to be too much of an issue.
Okay.
And
Then
this
short
was
rest.
the second spot, right? We have one more spot to look at.
No, you looked at the first spot and didn't find anything. The second spot, you found the tools from the other creatures,
Oh.
and this is the third
Awesome.
spot technically.
Okay, perfect.
Where you found more of these tools, and now even kind of, I'll say even slightly looking around, you see about 10 to 15 feet farther down the tunnel, about where Goodbrand was when he moved all the way back. Because of the light shining on it, you do see what looks like a couple of, or what looks like a small, like, pile of remains. And it looks like skeletal, like
What's happening with those tiny little bulbs?
the tiny little ones.
Tiny little ones.
Goodbrand picked one up and went unconscious, and then he squished 5 of them.
Okay.
And then he
Are there
did.
any left?
He didn't see any. You have a good enough perception. You see that they are all over the place, but they're not.
I just want to go around casting Word of Radiance. Just everywhere.
You can do that. I will tell you, it doesn't seem like they are hostile or dealing with you guys at all. Like they're not
That's
actually
fine.
going near you guys. I'm just
But
letting you
these
know.
things are gonna. Yeah, I know, but these things are gonna grow and they're gonna be a problem again. I'm going to kill them all. And I could just go around with my cantrip Word of Radiance, just boom, 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 boom.
Prevention
boom,
is
just
the
blow 'em
best
the heck up.
medicine, you know?
However
Okay.
long that takes.
I'll go check the remains while he's doing cleanup duty.
Okay. Other than the bones, you do still see a few more tools. What look like some coinage. Not very much though. Other than that, there's nothing here. They are like slick, just almost as if like the entire flesh and everything has just dissolved off of it.
Well, I'll take the coins again.
Sure. Yeah. You take the coins. I'll say you can add this to your sheet. Total through all the coins that you had found and taken, you find 10 silver and 25 copper. It's not that much, to be honest. But you do accomplish that and check those remains and everything like that. And good brain, you start to do so. Is it an attack for?
No, they
it's a
make,
save.
Yeah.
Okay, I will say, you know, other than the few that seemingly dodge it every once in a while. Oh, it's a con save too. It does take a few like hits.
It's a cantrip.
I know it like it kills. Like if it hits or it seemingly looks like it hits, they seemingly almost just pop like balloons.
Yeah.
But you know, a few seem to resist it. A few seem to be this. But you're starting to notice they're still extremely hard to see. You kill a bunch. You still see a few. You still see a few. You keep killing them. You keep killing them. At a certain point, you stop seeing any in the vicinity that you're at right now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard to know if you got all of them.
I got as many as I could.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I will say in this small area, you can check on your way back and out and everything, but I will say that does eat into the short rest a little bit. So, assuming you still want to take a short rest, I will say it takes you about an hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes down here just to do the short rest with all that included. So, anyone who uses hit dice can add 3 because of the Song of Rest. If you're wanting to use
now, we
dice.
have not done a short rest here yet. I don't know how to do that here. Like, where do I find my hit die to spend?
It should be on the main part of your sheet. They should just see hit die at the bottom. If you just click it, it'll automatically add everything into your hit die and spend it all. So you should just have to click it, and then other than that, you just should just add 3. So the second you use 1, I'll add 3 to it, including.
I added 3 to mine already,
So I'll add yours. So good brand, you're at 15. Now you're at 6 with the extra 3. So.
Wait, that's how much damage I've been dealt, correct? So
Yeah.
perfect.
I mean, you're at 6 damage taken. So
yeah,
you're almost fully healed, but not quite.
I get the extra 3, right?
I already did it. So I did it right before you rolled the second one. So
awesome. Awesome.
That's what you're at.
I'm back to being okay.
Yeah, it seems like everyone's okay. Even the people who are still hurt are only hurt a little bit. Other than, and you know, the smell, luckily you guys have been down here long enough, you've been able to mostly ignore it. It's still bad, and every once in a while you think about it, but fortunately it is not extremely, it's not terrible. With that being the case, you guys do that. We'll go ahead and end it there, because I know it's getting late for some of you, and also I kind of want Olive to be back for some of the next stuff that could happen. So, luckily enough, unless there seemingly is something else in the sewer adventure is more than it seems over. You found a little bit of the remains. You've dealt with these weird ooze-like entities that are down here at the moment. So,
is any of my equipment damaged?
Doesn't seem like it.
Okay.
That was my next question.
I'll double check. I know gelatinous cubes don't. I'm 99% sure the other ones don't as well.
They don't.
Okay, good.
Yeah, no, they don't.
No, you have to be like in gelatinous cubes forever to damage your shit.
Yeah, or even other stuff. Well, it's like other creatures. There are other oozes that do that.
Yeah,
but not
that's
these.
That's why I wanted to make sure, because I know that some oozes and jellies and stuff do that. So
I'm not that horrible now.
Hey.
Oh, you guys are level 4 and you have no magical equipment? Let's dissolve it all. No.
Yeah.
Not that mean, luckily
At
enough.
least it'd be cheap to buy back.
Honestly, with the bottom of the ladder rusted, I thought we were going to run into a rust monster.
Ooh.
Rust
No,
monsters.
it's just old. This is again an old city, so but thanks for the people who were joining. I saw some chat and some other stuff. So thanks for following and stuff too. You'll see your names in the credits as well if you joined during this. Other than that, we we'll check back. You know, you can check my Twitter and other stuff like that for updates on this. I know next week is close to Christmas, so depending on everyone's schedule, we'll have to see if we can do it. I should be able to, but we'll all talk about that behind the scenes and make sure that we can. So you'll either see us back next week or maybe the week after, but we'll be back eventually. Well, hopefully with all 5 of our lovely players. Other than that, I'm just gonna say thank you, and I hope to see you guys next time. And I'm just gonna say bye. Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye.